What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Fireside Giants. I'm your host, Anthony Rivardo, and today, day 3 of the NFL Draft, the final day of the 2025 NFL Draft, and through 2 days, it's been a hell of a draft for the New York Giants. I'm super excited. We've had some great live streams reacting live to the Giants pick, the picks so far, giving the analysis, and just being excited about how well the Giants are doing so far in the 2025 NFL Draft. So it's going to wrap up today, and I am back live to react to the picks as they roll in. The NFL Draft kicking off in the next few minutes, and the Giants holding pick number 105 right at the top of the 4th round. I think that's the 3rd pick of the 4th round. So I'm super excited to go ahead and dive into it. What's up, Sam? What's up, Sean? What's up, Fireplace? Thank you guys for joining me, and to everybody else trickling in. Welcome, welcome. Let's go ahead and have another great day of the NFL Draft for the Giants. Before we do kick it off and get things started, just one quick message from our sponsor, and then we're going to go ahead and get ready for the NFL Draft festivities. Product, the Exter Wallet. What's up, everybody? Anthony Rivardo from Fireside Giants here, and I want to take a quick moment to talk about my favorite new product, the Exter Wallet. The new and improved Exter Wallet is RFID protected with a slim design and a convenient pop-up mechanism. Just press the metal card ejector trigger to quickly access your credit cards. The new Exter Wallet now fits more, adds more, and looks more. They come in a variety of colors, making Exter Wallets the perfect gift for him or for her. It's easy to carry, looks great, and holds up to 14 cards for maximum capacity. Exter also offers their new Finder card, part of their add-on ecosystem. Never lose your wallet again with the Finder card. The Finder card connects straight to your iPhone, so if you ever lose your wallet, you can go on your phone, press a button, and can track the wallet to identify its location. It's awesome. See the exact location of your wallet by connecting it to your iPhone. You can ring the wallet from up to 300 feet away and get automatically notified on your phone if you leave your wallet behind. Go check out Exter and enjoy up to 30% off until May 19th. Use the promo code FIRESIDE at checkout to get an additional 10% in savings. All right, thanks for tuning in for the advertisement. It's over. Now let's kick off the NFL Draft live stream, guys. I'm super excited. Who are your top targets in round 4 of the draft? Drop them down below in the comment section. If you guys were tuned into my live stream last night, you know who's at the top of my board right now. It's Purdue offensive lineman Marcus MBOW. I really like this kid. He's got quick feet. He's great in pass protection. He's got guard and tackle flexibility. He's the guy that I want the New York Giants to draft at number 105. Now, we shall see if that's the guy that they take. Cam Scataboo is also an option. I see Sean in the chat saying Scataboo. Damian Martinez is another option, the running back out of Miami. There are quite a few options for the Giants here at 105. I'm honestly shocked how loaded the draft board still is as we enter the 3rd and final day of the NFL Draft. But the New York Giants really are positioned to land a solid talent with the 105th pick in the NFL Draft. Now, they do have a 5th round pick. They do not have a 6th round pick, and then they have 2 7th round picks. I'll say this. They could stick and pick all of those selections. They could take some guys in the 7th, or maybe they package some of those picks later on and they move up and they get another impact player depending on how the board falls. I think that's something to keep an eye on here. And I think I'm really excited for this draft to already go ahead and begin. It's officially 12 p.m., so it's officially time for the draft to start. It hasn't started yet because, as we know, it never starts on time. But as soon as it begins, we will be live reacting to the New York Giants picks as the draft kicks off. So how are we feeling, guys? How are you feeling about the draft so far? And how are you feeling entering day 3? Sean says, let's rock. Sam with a really great question here. Did we do a pre-draft film breakdown of Darius Alexander? No, Sam, we did not do a pre-draft breakdown of Alexander. However, we are going to do a post-draft breakdown on Darius Alexander, and probably I'll be doing one for every single one of the New York Giants draft picks. So we did do 2 film breakdowns prior to the draft on Jackson Dart. He's the only guy that we gave 2 breakdowns to because we really liked him. Lo and behold, he became the New York Giants quarterback, so we had our sights set on the right guy. We did do a breakdown on the mid-round quarterbacks. That's pretty much a wash now. But we didn't do a breakdown on guys like Carter, like Darius Alexander, but those will be coming. In fact, I have something special planned for those breakdowns. It's going to be a 2-for-1, Carter and Alexander in the same breakdown. And I'm going to try and bring on a very special guest for that. So stay tuned because I think you guys are really going to enjoy what I have cooking up. Let's see if I can pull it off. Fireplace says, let's go. The last but not least day of the draft. This is where championship teams are oftentimes built, right, in these very late rounds. JW says, W ad read, and thank you so much for that. Adrian, yes, we're back. Let's do it. Hope we grab MBOW. Me too. Me too. Hunter said, "What's up, Anthony? Couldn't tune in much last night, but excited to listen as I'm at work today." Awesome, man. I am super excited as well. Appreciate you tuning in. Yo, the more I see, the more I like Dart. Chase Daniel, Kurt Warner, Gruden, Giants Nation, Big Blue Banter, and FSG, of course. Watch them all. Thank you, John, for your viewership. And yeah, all of those guys you mentioned really like Jackson Dart. So do I. I wrote that article all the way in mid-January saying that he could be the steal of the NFL draft. Feel like that's a great thing to point to now that he's actually on the New York Giants. Let's get a running back. Really great chance they draft one today. Kobe Bryant, cornerback out of Kansas. I really like him. Great ball skills. He could be an option maybe at this pick or maybe at our next pick. MBOW is still available. Hopefully he's still on the clock at 105 or on the board when the Giants are on the clock at 105. I think he'd be a great pick for us. Ollie Gordon in the 5th would be a pretty intriguing option out of Oklahoma State. Thank you so much, that dude. Sam Fountain, good to see you here. Strider said he took some time to reflect on taking Dart. I would cheer him on. Don't want him to fail. Plus, the best thing he can do is sit and learn. We have time. Just need Dable and Shane to keep their jobs. Yeah, they do need to keep their jobs. They need to win games to keep their jobs, but that's what Russell Wilson is here for. So hopefully Russ does some winning, keeps some jobs in place, and then Jackson Dart turns loose with Dable as his coach in 2026. That is the ideal outcome for the New York Giants. We'll see if it actually shapes out that way. Are there any decent O-line left? Marcus MBOW out of Purdue is the first name that really stands out. Again, I'm a big fan of him. I was cool with him at 65. He's still on the board at 105, hopefully. Hopefully he doesn't go to Tennessee or Jacksonville here. He would be a great selection. That's the name that I'm keeping an eye on. But there are some others as well. Let me go ahead and pull it up. Anybody else that I have not brought up yet? There's Marcus MBOW. Where are the other guards? There's another guard. I can't remember who. Yeah, Miles Frazier out of LSU. That's a player who I think you can keep an eye on as well. And Jalen Rivers out of Miami. Logan Brown out of Kansas, also still on the board. So there are a few guys available. 3 best players available for the Giants. What's up, Ryan? Good to see you in here. Marcus MBOW, the Purdue offensive lineman, is my number 1. If we're going BPA and we're not going by need, Alec Ayo Manor, Stanford wide receiver. Don't have his name pronunciation down yet. However, he's super talented, and I can't believe he's still on the board entering day 3. And Cam Scataboo. I know that's a guy that a lot of Giants fans want. He's a very talented running back. He's not my cup of tea at running back because he's not a great athlete, and I prefer athletes at that position. But he is among the top prospects for the Giants to consider on the board. Jalen Reed, safety out of Penn State, is a guy I don't think enough people have talked about either as an option for the Giants. So there's a few. Let's see. What up? And who was the guy last night that got drafted and you read the scouting report and they said he was juicy? That had me dying. That was Darius Alexander. No. It wasn't Darius Alexander. It was the UCLA edge rusher that the Titans, I think, selected. I don't know his name, but I looked up and I saw strong hands, great pass rush, juicy. What are we doing, NFL Network? Where do we think Sanders will go? Raiders or Steelers? Or I have no idea. I did see a report from Tom Pelissero that the Eagles are one of the teams that are considering taking the flyer on Shedeur Sanders. Could be rather interesting. Could be super interesting. I don't know. Could you guys imagine that? Shedeur to the Eagles? Strider with a good question here. How about a linebacker, Bobby O, in the final year of his contract? He actually does have another year left. So he's got 2025 and 2026 on his deal before it expires. So I don't think linebacker is necessarily a pressing need. And I also don't think that there's a lot of great linebackers on the board today. There's some developmental guys, some late round guys, but nobody that's probably going to turn into an impact player. Maybe, you never know, obviously, when you're drafting late in these rounds, but I wouldn't make that a priority considering how strong the other positions are. Like running back, there's some pretty good receivers on the board, some good defensive backs as well, and definitely a couple offensive linemen. That's probably what the Giants want to target before things thin out at that position. I believe Jack Sawyer is still on the board, Fireplace. By the way, if you guys don't have the TV on, the NFL draft has officially begun. The Titans are on the clock and expected to make their pick shortly. Yeah, Jack Sawyer out of Ohio State is still on the board. You guys know at running back, I do really like. I really like Trevor Etienne out of Georgia. I don't know if he's on the Giants draft board. They didn't meet with him. They didn't have a 30 with him. They had 30s with a couple running backs, but not him. So I don't know. But he's a player I think is being slept on. Also, one prospect that I think we should keep an eye on is Willie Lampkin out of North Carolina. I don't know if we're keeping an eye on him for the Giants or for somebody else. However, he's 5'10", 270 pounds, very light, very short, but he plays center, so maybe he can get away with it. And if you read about him, you'll see Lance Zierlein, Daniel Jeremiah, and all these other guys say that he has the best run blocking film out of any prospect in the draft, but he's way too undersized and probably can't play at the NFL level at his size. However, a team might be willing to take a chance on him. Not saying at round 4, not saying at round 5, probably round 7. I would be curious to see if the Giants could be the team that takes that chance. Just knowing that they need some developmental guys. Jason with a good comment. Hopefully McFadden can learn from Carter the ability for both of them to be able to shoot the gap from the middle. But now Dex and that other massive dude, Darius Alexander, defense is solid. I want Scataboo for fullback. Yeah, Scataboo is definitely more of a running back than a fullback because I don't think he's got many blocking capabilities. But I will say having 2 running back sets with him and Tracy would be super exciting. I like Scataboo, and I'm curious to see if he gets the call from the Giants. Titans pick is in. They're sticking in picking. I think there's a good chance they take that Stanford receiver I like, but we'll see. Jaguars on the clock, and then the Giants will be up, and I am excited. Strider, are the Giants looking at kickers? Gano has been injured. Yeah, he has been. I have no idea if we're looking at kickers, but maybe once we get to round 7, who knows? Maybe they take a flyer, and I think they should. Yeah, not a lot of teams use fullbacks anymore, unfortunately. The Giants are also one of those teams that don't carry a fullback. If they end up with a fullback in the backfield, it's usually Daniel Bellinger. They take the tight end and put him back there. JW, did y'all see Warren Moon is going to let Cam Ward wear 1? Being co-signed by a legend like Moon has to feel good. Has to feel amazing, and it was a really cool moment. He walked up and surprised him with the 1 jersey. That was really cool. So I'm very happy for Cam Ward, who was my draft crush dating the last year. So Chimere DK out of Florida. I'm going to be completely real with you guys. I don't even know who Chimere DK is. But he ran a 4.3 4.40. That's pretty blazing fast out of Florida to the Tennessee Titans. Interesting. All right. Sinister Soup, have you guys seen the Gruden's quarterback class on Jackson Dart? Got me really hyped about him. I've seen clips of it. I haven't sat down and watched the entire thing from start to finish just yet. But once the craziness of the draft and all these live streams end, I'm officially going to sit down and watch the whole thing start to finish. I'm really excited to see it because I'm very high on Jackson Dart, as you guys know, have been throughout the whole offseason. So I'm excited to see that. And I like Gruden's energy. He's fun to watch. Wow, it would be really interesting if Shedeur does end up with the Eagles. It's a shame because, you know, he started out this whole offseason. It was like, well, he's going to go to a team and maybe he'll start from day 1. And now it's career backup expectations for him. It's kind of insane. Kind of crazy. Well, yo, what is your guys' take on the Giants being massive Star Wars fans? They took Darth Carter with the number 3 overall pick. Abdul Carter's nickname is Darth Vader, if you didn't know. And then they took Jackson Dart with their second first-round pick, and he wears that eye black over one eye because of Anakin Skywalker. Meanwhile, this weekend is the 20th anniversary of the release of Revenge of the Sith in theaters. The stars align for the Giants to land 2 Star Wars fanatics with their first-round picks. Pretty interesting, pretty cool, and exciting because I'm a big Star Wars fan as well as a Giants fan. Oh, yes, we are, Hazel. What's up? Really like MBOW. I will also say keep an eye on Caleb Priestcorn, Ole Miss tight end, who's very close with Jackson Dart. If you guys didn't see the video that went viral of Jackson Dart, it said, "Hey, Giants, keep Uncle Jax safe," or whatever. And it was Jackson Dart basically holding a baby and all that kind of stuff. That was actually Caleb Prieskorn's child. So I think it's really, really cool that that video went viral because it shows what a great person Jackson Dart is off the field. But I think it would be extra cool if the Giants went ahead and drafted Caleb Prieskorn and teamed them back up. He might go undrafted, so maybe he's a priority free agent for the Giants. I don't know. But I think it would be cool to keep that chemistry and keep that locker room piece intact between Prieskorn and Jackson Dart. Familiar faces are always helpful, I think. Fireplace saying what I've been thinking. If the Giants take MBOW, do they have a little Fireside Giants on in the draft room? Because they've been taking all my guys. Obviously, we banged the table, said you got to take Carter 3. I've been banging the table for Jackson Dart since early January. I said Darius Alexander in the 3rd would be a dream come true. And if we take MBOW, they might be listening. Who knows? I've been really high on MBOW throughout the draft process. Made a couple of articles talking about MBOW. Giants are officially on the clock. Jaguars making their selection. So, you know the drill, guys. Going to close the live chat so I can give you my honest live reaction. No spoilers. Who do the Jaguars take? Bayshaw Tootin. Well, running back goes off the board right in front of the New York Giants, but it's not a running back that they met with. Those being, of course, Scataboo and Ollie Gordon. So those guys are still an option for the Giants. This could mean a run on running backs is coming. First 2 picks are both offensive skill position players to start the 4th round. Wonder if the Giants go that route or if they do take my guy Marcus MBOW. We shall see soon enough. Day 3 of the draft is fun. A lot of it is like guys you have no idea who they are, and then a lot of it is guys you have no idea how they fell into day 3. It's always a fun mix. You know what I hope, though? This is really random, not necessarily Giants related. But we did talk about Will Howard a lot on the show as a mid-round pick for the Giants. That's obviously off the board now. But I really hope he ends up with one of those McVay teams, meaning the Rams or the Dolphins or the 49ers, a Shanahan team, one of those teams that has that kind of offense, because I think he could be an absolute stud in one of those offenses. So just random thought that's coming up since we talked a lot about him as a round 4 pick. Oh, Giants have made their call. They're making their selection right now. And I believe that is Mike Kafka holding the phone on the video. So I'm going to take a guess that they're going offensive skill position, or is that Dable? I can't tell. All I see is a bald head. But I think the pick is in, so we'll find out shortly. I'm going to guess it's all offensive side of the ball, though. We will send things back to the podium for that as New England is pick is in. And Jacksonville again behind them, and we'll hear the Raiders as we begin to start wondering about Shedeur Sanders' day here. You know, Shedeur Sanders falling is now the only thing that any of these analysts on NFL Network or ESPN talk about, and I'm getting a little fatigued. I can't lie to you. I'm a little Shedeur fatigued. We've talked about it way too much. He's going to get drafted or he's not going to get drafted. I don't know. We'll see. Miles Frazier on the board as an LSU guard. He's interesting. I wonder if he could be the pick. I know that they met with Jalen Reed, the safety out of Penn State. He could be the pick. Marcus MBOW, of course, they met with him. Joshua Farmer, Florida State defensive tackle, met with him. So pick is in. Hopefully they go to the podium soon and share the good news with us. I wonder who it's going to be. Making the pick from Germany. Victor Cruz over in Germany right now to make the pick. This is awesome. Speaking of the Giants fans over in Germany, let us know where you're watching from right now. Drop it in the chat. And without further ado, with the 105th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the New York Giants select Cam Scataboo. Cam Scataboo. Yes, sir. What a pick. Yeah, I know Giants fans are hyped up about that one, aren't we? That is a football player. Yeah, that is a guy who's going to bring some energy to this New York Giants offense. My God, I love this selection. Yes, sir. Scataboo! Cam Scataboo! He doesn't even need a helmet. He'll still run through you. You guys seen that highlight, I'm sure. Awesome pick. Yes. Yes, sir. How are we feeling, boys? How are we feeling? You see him take some huge hits, deliver huge hits, get right back in the huddle, and do it all over again. It's not just a running. He's a heck of an athlete. He used when the Wildcat a ton last year. He can catch the ball. The comp is a new one for me, guys, because when I was watching him, I'm like, wow, awesome pick. Yeah, Alex is going to be hyped. Where is he? Get him in here. I wanted a thumper. Well, if you're talking about thumper on the offensive line, didn't get that, but we got a thumper in the backfield, that's for sure. Ryan's liking it. What's up, Ryan? A++. Yeah, this draft is looking fantastic. Can't lie to you. First college football player with 1,700 rushing yards and 500 receiving yards in a single season since Christian McCaffrey. That's Cam Scataboo. That's pretty fantastic. Sean loves the pick. Me too, man. Ethan Bell watching from Bradenton, Florida. What's up, Ethan? Ethan would thump him. Let's not do that, Ethan. Why don't you go thump some golf balls? Get your drive straight. Eric loves the pick. Shout out to you, Eric. Great pick. Yeah, I agree. Joe Shane's killing it. Great draft so far. That's an offensive backfield to get excited about. Tyrone Tracy and Cam Scataboo together. Don't forget Devin Singletary's still there. That's right. We do need somebody to block for him. I wonder if they're going to make a move to get an offensive lineman earlier than their 5th-round pick, or if they're going to stick and pick there. We'll see. Really good pick. Yep, this is day 3, round 4. Yeah, absolutely. They should target an offensive lineman at some point. Ryan Garcia. Scataboo is going to run over Cowboys defender, and it'll go triple platinum. Yeah, I can't wait to see that clip. That's going to be fantastic. LDE. Which draft pick is making the best chicken cutlets? I'm going to go with Scataboo, man. I think Scataboo can make some good cutlets. Good pickup. Yes, sir. The draft board is still loaded with talent, though. This is what's so exciting. Like, the Giants just got Scataboo here in the 4th, and I know we're all excited about that. Who else could they end up landing today? I'm not sure, but it could be somebody exciting. There is still a bunch of talent on the board that the Giants should be able to land another player who could potentially make an impact in the 5th round, like they did last year with Tyrone Tracy Jr. So I'm very curious to see how this draft board continues to fall. Digital Man, good question. I do think that the Giants could move one of their 7th-round picks, get up the draft board, and make another selection before. What are they picking? 154? It's a while from now. It's almost 50 picks away. I think the Giants might want to get up here and take advantage of all of the talent that's still sitting on the board before it's too late, because there is a lot of talent still sitting here in this 4th round. So I'm really excited about this. Love this selection, too. Cam Scataboo! Everybody drop a Scataboo in the chat. All right, my bad, guys. Had to give my take on Scataboo on Twitter. Had to make a quick tweet. Yeah, I think that Alex is actually not overseas. I think he's really just at the New York Giants facilities, helping them make their selections. That's what it feels like. I learned we got Scataboo by you telling me he would make the best cutlets. That's kind of awesome. That's great. A-Train, I agree with you. Really good draft so far. Hope we're a good team. Really, really good draft so far. All right, I got a surprise for you guys. Somebody is joining in on the chat. I got a good surprise. Alex is shadow GMing. Let's ask him about that in a little bit. Surprise, surprise. Good call, Michael. Great call. Yeah, let's go get some offensive linemen. You did say it, Michael. You did say it. Good call. Yo, listen, it's a good comparison. The way that these two players play, it's pretty reminiscent of what we saw many years ago. I'm not as high, I think, on Scataboo as most fans because I don't think he's a great athlete. Slow 40, not the most explosive out of his breaks. However, you can't deny the power that he brings, the heart that he brings to the field, and his ability to make people miss. Like, he's a really good football player, and I'm very happy with this pick. A lot of people thought he could go much earlier than this selection. So at pick number 105, we knew the Giants wanted to add a running back and create a committee in that backfield. They've accomplished that goal. This is a great selection. Can't complain. Know it. Yeah, listen, if Marcus MBOW continues to slide, let's say he's available at pick like 120, 130, and the Giants are over there at 154, I'm trading up to get him. Absolutely. Maybe he falls to us at 154. I don't know if I take that chance. I really want to get Marcus MBOW. I would love to have him. Multiple sources have told me that the New York Giants had a detailed conversation with Fireside Giants as Alex Wilson before day 3 of the NFL draft. Yes, and I'll reveal that they had a detailed conversation with me about a month ago and about how much I love Jackson Dart. And I think I might be the reason they drafted him. Whether that's satire or not, it's in the eye of the beholder. NFC Beast is back. Yeah, man, I really hope that we are able to compete this season. Yeah, he's probably not falling to 154, but I also did not expect Shedeur Sanders to fall out of the 3rd round, so you never know. Do I see guard or receiver as a bigger need? I think that's a good question. I think that I see guard as a bigger need. I think that I see the value of the draft board probably leaning towards wide receiver, though, when the Giants are next on the clock, because I think that the offensive linemen are going to thin out here. But we'll see. Sinister Soup, I can confirm that the New York Giants do tune in every now and then to Fireside Giants. It's not even a joke. I know that they're aware of us. So sometimes when things happen that we call months in advance, I almost feel like as if they're listening. So they check us out every now and then, make sure we're behaving ourselves. But we behave. We're always very supportive of the team. Unless they're 3-14 and we want people fired, then we'll speak our truth. I would think that Singletary is on the chopping block. I don't know how much the Giants would save by releasing him in cap savings. I'll double check that. But I think that for a late round pick potentially in a trade, I could see something like that happening. Let me check his contract. Yeah, so they do have an out in his contract here. If they were to release Devin Singletary after June 1st, not prior to June 1st. Prior to June 1st, they would save nothing. But if they release him post June 1st, they would save $1.5 million. So not a ton. Yeah, the Giants are keeping us in check from afar. Heard it here first. I wish it was Delusions of Grandeur Blue Badger, but it's not. Yeah, they could save $1.5 million this season if they do release him post June 1st. If they trade him, they would save $5 million. So potentially, I could see them looking to move on from Singletary via trade and free up a little bit of cap space. $5 million is no short amount. Dante Thorne out of Tennessee, 6'4.5" receiver, goes to the Raiders. And guys, I need to get an explanation as to why that Stanford receiver is still on the board. Why? Someone needs to take him. This is very true. 62 T-Bird, man. Yeah, it's going to come down to coaching. My biggest question mark is Shane Bowen. This Giants defense had a lot of talent last year. Didn't look like it had a ton of talent. It's got even more talent now. It needs to show up this season. So big question marks for Shane Bowen. What's up, Christian? Good to see you in here. Agreed, Hunter. So I think they're going to try their best to trade Singletary. I just don't know if he'll have a market. Scataboo! That's my reaction to the pick. I love it. I think it's a great pick. I mean, this is a player who's going to make an impact in day one as a spellback, as a guy who takes some pressure off of Tyrone Tracy's shoulders the load with him and helps out. And we needed a playmaker. Like if the Giants went through this whole draft without taking some sort of offensive skill position player, I wouldn't have been happy. Like we needed to bring a playmaker into this offense, keep building the talent. The offense ranked 31st in scoring last year. It was a joke. So bringing in a guy like Scataboo who can make an impact both as a runner and a receiver. No, he's not a blazing athlete. Hopefully he can help in pass protection as well with his strength, and hopefully he makes some explosive plays with his power out of the backfield, especially as a receiver. So I really like the pick, and I think he's a good fit with the New York Giants. And again, I think this is a player who Brian Daboll really likes, and I like that Daboll's getting his guys and loading up the offense to make it look the way he wants it to look this season. Sam, you're right. The Raiders traded out of this pick. They're not taking Shedeur. Wouldn't it be such a Jets thing to do to take Shedeur here? They're about to pick. Maybe it'll be him. I think he's going to keep falling. I don't think he's going in this fourth round. I think he's just going to keep falling. Unless Philadelphia takes him here, as the rumors suggested. But Nick, thank you so much for the super chat saying, Ant, we got the best football names in the draft. Dart and Scataboo. Yeah, and again, I love the nicknames with Darth Carter, Darth Vader, Abdul Carter, and Anakin Skywalker, Jackson Dart. So much fun. Should be pretty sweet. Favorite pick in terms of value? In terms of value for the Giants is probably Darius Alexander, because he really could have been a top 40 pick and he got taken at 65. So great selection there for the Giants. My favorite pick out of personal feelings towards the prospect is probably Jackson Dart, because I've been a huge fan of him for a minute. But really, in terms of value, arguably the number one player in the class at number 3 overall with Abdul Carter. It's a great value pick. I have him number 2 in the class, but some boards definitely had him number 1 in the class. So Dion's going to call Jerry. I could see him low-key going to the Cowboys. Would be interesting. Cam, excuse me. Sorry, Cameron. Cameron saying Sanders will be Mr. Irrelevant. Thank you so much for the super chat, my friend. Wouldn't that be wild? From potential number 1 pick 5 months ago was the discussion to the last pick in the draft. Whew. Crazy stuff. Yeah, part of the value in the Dart pick is the 5th-year option. Absolutely right, especially because the Giants are going to be redshirting him his rookie season. You want that extra year on the contract. It's huge. Very important. I'm getting a lot of texts about Cam Scataboo from my friends. These guys love this pick. And Scataboo is an angry dude. I love Scataboo's ability to contribute as a receiver. I think that's huge, man. Guy can make a play from anywhere. Man. He ranked 100th in the 100th percentile in yards after contact. Nobody had more yards after contact than Cam Scataboo. Great stat right there. Scott Sherman with the super chat. No comment left on there, but I'll keep an eye on the live chat in case that was an accident and you have something to say. Thank you so much, Scott, regardless. And also, very cool profile picture. I love Superman. I can't wait for the movie this July. Sam Scataboo is a good pass blocker, which I think is really important, probably part of the reason they made the selection. Sean, I agree with you. I would trade up for MBOW if he keeps falling. We're at pick 110. Giants are still 44 picks away. If he's in that 130, 140 range, I'm making that move. Honestly, I'm making it. Do you guys think the Giants should bring back the red jerseys? Hot take, maybe. I was never a fan. I don't love the red jerseys. I want the Giants to change their uniforms, though. I think now is the perfect time. We're ushering in a new era. We just drafted a rookie quarterback in the first round. We've got Russell Wilson under center. I think we should do something different. We've had these jerseys for 20 years. We've been losing in them. Yes, I know that we won some Super Bowls in them. I get it. But I just really want the Giants to put some more color on these uniforms. Blue with white numbers. I mean, it's a little, it's a little stale at this point. It's been 20 years of them. I think it's time to switch it up. What I really want the Giants to do, take a page out of the Jets and the Lions playbook, go to a modern throwback design, right? Like go with the 80s uniforms that the Giants wear, those throwbacks, what do they call them? The classic jerseys. I love those uniforms. I'm not crazy about the dark navy helmet. I like the Giants' old Color Rush helmet, which was their normal blue, but with the white face mask and the long Giants. Bring that helmet back with these throwback uniforms that have the red piping around the numbers. Beautiful. Perfect. Bring it back. I would love to see it. So basically the Color Rush helmet and the Color Rush away uniform, as Jeffrey's saying, but also just the current throwback uniforms. I love those, man. Those are so sweet. The 80s uniforms, bring them back. Bring them back. It is starting to feel like a new team. I'm excited. One of the best drafts ever. I hope it translates. It could look like one of the best on paper. Got to be the best on the field. WCB isn't loving it, saying the Giants are garbage. To each their own, so you say. Yeah, Bill's loading up on defensive linemen. Cam with an interesting question. Could you see Cam Scataboo being used like Kyle Juszczyk in San Francisco? I guess he could be used in a similar gadget sense. But Juszczyk would line up at like tight ends, receiver, running back. I don't know if Scataboo is going to do all of that. But in terms of being that receiving threat out of the backfield that can get into the slot sometimes, I could see that for Scataboo. I don't really miss the gray pants so much, but I don't know. Jay, I have no sense of tradition. I'm suggesting to bring back the 80s uniforms. That is honoring tradition. That's what I'm saying. I don't want to leave it alone. I want to bring it back. I want to bring back the tradition. That's essentially what I'm saying. I love those old uniforms, man, from the 80s. I wasn't alive to see them played in. I want to see them played in more. Those are sweet. Yeah, the old blue, white pants. I'm not crazy about the gray either. They had their time. Sean thinks we need a new design. I mean, listen, I'm open to it. I'm open to whatever. Yeah, great question. Maybe we were focused on the wrong things. I don't know. The Giants are so damn physical right now. You and Alex said this, but the Giants have identity now. Yeah, Ryan, they absolutely do. I mean, they're bringing back their old identity with a modern flair is how I see it. Finally, I feel like this vision that Shane and Dable had is taking shape. It took them forever, and they had a lot of missteps along the way. But this offseason, I really think they're putting their vision into practice, and I'm excited about that. This is exactly what I do anytime I play Madden. I don't play a lot of Madden, but when I do, this is exactly what I do for the Giants uniforms. Color Rush helmet and the throwback jerseys. It's the best look for them. You and me both. Praying for it. Still time, Dolph. Maybe they'll upgrade the offensive line soon. Still some time. 5th round pick might be able to bring them somebody. New logo would be interesting. I love the Giants logos, the NY and the long Giants. I love both of them. I don't think we need a new logo, but again, I'm open to anything. Whatever makes the Giants look better, play better. All black uniforms would be interesting. I don't know how crazy I am about that idea, but I'm, again, open-minded to it. LDE, can you see DeVito being on the trade block now? I don't know how much value he would have on the trade block. I think the Giants also would like to protect their ability to keep him on the practice squad. I think they're going to keep him there and hope that he doesn't sign elsewhere. But he's a good enough player. He probably will sign elsewhere. But thank you so much for the super chat, LDE. How are we feeling about Cam? Oh, you mean Cam Scataboo? Woo! We're feeling good. We're really liking it. Jeffrey Wheeler, 2 back sets. Tracy and Scataboo. Tracy Boo is coming. Tracy Boo is a good one, Jeffrey. Shout out to you. Thank you so much for the super chat. I like that a lot. Tracy Boo. Tracy Boo! I like Damian Martinez and Ollie Gordon, but now that the Giants just spent a 4th on a running back and they spent a 5th last year on a guy who starts for them, I don't think that we're going to see them take another running back. But I do like both of those guys. More smash mouth, workhorse kind of guys, you know? The 75 helmet logo is interesting. I think that was one that was too ahead of its time back then, but now I think has kind of aged well, if that makes sense. Didn't fit the period that it was worn in, but now I think moving forward, we could see that get brought back eventually. I'd be curious to see if they ever bring that one back. Yeah, there should be some blue on these uniforms. That's what I'm saying, other than the helmet, of course, but like the pants are white and red. They're just candy cane stripes. Where's the blue? We're big blue. I agree with you. Eagles take Ty Robinson out of Nebraska. Pretty good selection for them. Finally, a solid running back duo for the first time in a minute. I like it. Let's say the Giants are terrible this year, 2-15, first overall pick. Does having Dart in training stop him there at firing Dable and Shane? No way. They need to win games this year. They have to be playing competitive football in December. If they're not, everybody's getting fired, and they'll let a new regime come in and decide what to do with Jackson Dart. If that new regime wants to take a quarterback with the first overall pick, they will have the autonomy to do so. So Dable and Shane know they need to win games this year. Otherwise, they're fired. Christian Whitehead, thank you so much for the super chat saying, what are your thoughts and / what's my reaction to Sanders falling this far? It's crazy how they were serious talks about him being with the Giants at 3. Well, I'll bring this up. I'm going to share my screen here. We talked about this at length in last night's live stream. However, in case you weren't here for last night's live stream, I want to go ahead and pull up this report from Todd McShay, and we'll discuss that, and hopefully it brings you guys some context as to why the New York Giants passed and why all these teams are passing. So essentially, Todd McShay reported that Shedeur Sanders bombed his interview with the New York Giants. He said, quote, they didn't have a great interview. And in particular, he shared some information where the preparation was not there on an install package. Essentially, what happened was the New York Giants, Brian Dable, gave Shedeur Sanders several plays in a playbook, an install package to memorize and bring back to the next meeting. He didn't prepare for it. He basically was given homework that he did not do. When he showed up to the next meeting, Brian Dable called him out on not doing his homework, and he didn't like being called out, and Dable didn't appreciate his response to being called out. So it sounds like the way Tom McShay described it, there was a point of tension and conflict, somewhat of a little bit of, I don't want to call it an argument because he didn't use that word, but there was some conflict. That's for sure is how it was described. And considering they gave him homework and he just blew it off and didn't do it, and the fact that Todd McShay knew about it tells you there were probably a lot of NFL teams that also knew about it. I think this is a matter of a question of work ethic, character, and love of football and dedication, a question that not only the Giants had, but a lot of teams now have based on this story. And ultimately, that's why he's falling. So I think he's going to continue to fall. And I think what it comes down to now is an NFL team might be willing to put up with some things for a first-round pick who could be a starting quarterback. But if they didn't view him as a starter, if they viewed him as an upside developmental player, they're not going to invite all of this attention, unnecessary attention for a player who might not even play. It's just not necessary. So I think that's really what this is boiling down to. But thanks for the super chat. Appreciate it. About to cry. Giants are cooking. They absolutely are cooking. I'm super excited. SKATTEBO! I'm going to keep doing that. It's fun. He's got a fun name to say. Yeah, I wonder if that is what he did, but whatever teams he did want, he had to have wanted one team at least. I thought that he wanted the Giants considering he wore those damn cleats. I don't know, man. Crazy. Crazy stuff. I think that Dart makes so much sense for Brian Dable. It's a perfect fit between those two. I really think so. I really love Cam Scatabo's ability to compete in the receiving aspect of the game. I think that was one thing we were really high on Tyrone Tracy for last year. Former wide receiver converted to running back. We thought that he would be much better than most running backs are at receiving. He had a few drops. He really didn't make an impact like we expected him to out of the backfield as a receiver. I think that's where Cam Scataboo comes into play because he's a very good wide receiver out of the backfield. So I'm really excited. I'm not going to lie to you, Sam. I'm also tired of Sanders. Every few minutes here on NFL Network, they can't help but mention him. And the last thing that I want to say on Sanders, unless we get another question from the chat about him, but I think it's really important context. When you watch NFL Network or you watch most of these draft TV shows, keep in mind that these guys are direct friends with Deion Sanders because he used to work at NFL Network. So that's why they're so shocked what's going on and why they feel so strongly about it. That's a big part of this. Deion is actually friends with Rich Eisen. Like, they hang out, they go to barbecues together. That's why they're making such a big deal out of Shedeur and acting like this is some crime against humanity. So we got a special guest joining us here to talk about Cam Scataboo and other picks that the New York Giants have made. My good friend, Alex Wilson.
Hey, guys.
Alex, before you go,
Yes.
I'm just going to say one thing and then you're going to respond.
Yes.
Scataboo!
Scatta freaking boo. That is my freaking guy. I've been saying, I've been pounding the table for weeks that I want this guy, Cam Scataboo. I'll tell you what, Anthony, the Giants have two freaking players now in this draft class, not to mention Abdul Carter, but two players I know for a fact love football more than anything else in the world. Jackson Dart and Cam Scataboo, having those guys in the field at the same time in 2026. My goodness, you're not going to find more competitive people than this. Insane. And you guys know, if you've been in the live chat for a couple weeks now, love Cam Scataboo. And Anthony, remember I mentioned Darius Alexander months ago that I really wanted him? I know he's like 26 years old, but it's fine. I really, really like Darius Alexander. Obviously didn't get to react to that pick yesterday as Anthony did, but man, this draft so far, credit to Joe Schoen. I think he's doing a stand-up job right now. Abdul Carter knocks out of the park. You don't give up that much value really to get Jackson Dart. I think he's a fine developmental player to stash for a year. He's going to benefit tremendously. He's a year younger than Shedeur, a year younger than Cam Ward. He has time. And my apologies, Darius Alexander is 24, not 26. But Scataboo is just a grinder, man. Compact, freaking hard-headed, hard-nosed grinder. He's going to put his life on the line for this team, for this offense. I mean, you're not going to find a guy that has a better center of gravity, not going to find a guy that has better contact balance. This is a home run pick for the Giants. He is a highlight player. He is going to dog the Cowboys in Arlington. You know it. Like, this is a guy that's not going to go down at first contact. He's shiftier than people give him credit for at the second level. I'm a big fan of Scataboo, but this is such a good draft right now for the Giants. A lot of the guys, Anthony, that we called out over the last couple of weeks on this live stream, the Giants have picked in this draft class, and I could not be happier. It feels like we were kind of tapped in to the pulse of what Joe Schoen was thinking. Hard-nosed players, guys that just want to play football. That's it. And I will give myself an ounce of credit. And I'm going to, I'm not going to go on a big tour about it, but I will give myself an ounce of credit for the people that called me stupid saying that Shedeur Sanders would drop and he would not be in the top 5, top 10 picks. This is my chance, and I'm going to do it only one time. I was right about that. And I'm going to run my lap one time. That's it. I'm done.
Okay, he's done. Yes. I mean, listen, I got praise yesterday on the Giants Collective show because a while ago I said I think that Shedeur Sanders is going to fall out of the first round, and they all pushed back, and they're like, that's not going to happen. But yesterday, credit to Chris, he said, and to Bad Dog, they said, I didn't believe you when you said it, but you were 100% right, and they gave me my flowers yesterday. So you and I, Alex, we were spot on. You guys got to listen to Fireside Giants. We know what the we're talking about, seriously. So go ahead, run your lap, do your victory lap. And Alex, I do just have to point out a few things from the live chat because we were joking about you before you got in here, but don't worry, it was all good things. We were joking that you were not here with us because you were in the Giants war room. As soon as the Scataboo pick was made, we were like, oh my God, Alex just called in the pick. Jeffrey Wheeler, that's why he's saying, thank you for the super chat, Jeffrey, saying, Alex, get your ass back to the draft room. You're doing a great job, buddy.
Take a little break. I had to obviously, they're paying me big money to make these choices. Obviously, I had to take my second, come back to the people, the community that we've built and show you guys the love. But let's be honest, guys. I mean, the Giants had a really good draft last year. But There was two things that Joe Shane and Brian Dable needed to do this year, my friends. The first one, they had to walk away with a quarterback. And the second one, they had to walk away with the best player available at 3. They managed to do both. They got Abdul Carter at 3, who's going to develop an identity. Guys, this defensive line has more potential than I've seen in 10 years. Right? This is Super Bowl level, potential of a defensive line right now. We're talking about Brian Burns, one of the best pure pass rushers in the league. Abdul Carter has upside that I don't even think we really truly get yet, guys. I really don't think we understand how good he could be. He has 1 year of experience, as a pure pass rusher. He can play multiple positions, multiple alignments. Darius Alexander has a lot of interesting traits comparable to Leonard Williams. I'm really, really excited about kind of where this defensive line is going. Dexter Lawrence is just absolutely phenomenal, as we know. It's really, really cool to see that, a lot of the guys that we mentioned on this channel, Anthony, whether it be via articles, via podcasts, via specific film breakdowns, are being drafted by this team. We didn't do a whole lot of draft breakdowns this year, Anthony, but I'll tell you what, a lot of the ones we did, they ended up being picked by the Giants. So, you love to see that. I think the Giants did a pretty good job positioning themselves to win some football games this year, but also preparing for the future. And I do think that drafting Jackson Dart, and I wanted to ask you this, Anthony, I do think that they will get another year. I do think they will get 2026 to see what comes of Jackson Dart. And if it doesn't work out, I think that then they'll recalibrate. But I do think drafting a quarterback and getting Carter in the first round bought them an extra season, not just 2025. What do you think about that? I mean, unless they just have a catastrophic fall off where they win like 3 or 4 games, which I don't think will happen. If that happens, then they'll probably get fired. But I do think that they bought themselves a little bit more time with the picks they made in this draft class so far.
I don't think they bought themselves anything. The only thing that's going to buy them time is wins. It's the only thing.
Fair.
It's a great draft so far, and I feel really excited about it. I mean, dude, Joe Shane is lucky that he even survived after this past season. He had a phenomenal draft last year, and it almost didn't change anything. So they have to win games. The only reason they still have their jobs is because Daniel Jones was such a disaster that John Mara felt bad for them, is what I think. And they were like, okay, let's give you a year to get your quarterback and see if you can do it the right way with a quarterback. If they don't get it done, they don't get some wins this year, he's gone no matter what. Paul Dietz with the super chat here didn't leave a comment. I'll keep my eye on to see if I can find a comment from you in case this was a mistake. But Paul, thank you so much for your support regardless. Also, just another big shout out. Yesterday, we had Lucas Atkins drop a major donation into the chat and dropped 100 memberships for all of those who were live viewing. Lucas, if you're tuned in again, thank you so much. And everybody, big shout out to Lucas. Just wanted to make sure that I brought him up. Once again, Lucas, we're going to get some stickers, some exclusive Fireside Giants stickers coming your way. Sam in here, another Fireside Giants OG saying, based on this draft, Joe learned his lessons from last year. Sam, thank you so much for the super chat. And yeah, I do think one thing that we can say to give credit to Joe Shane, he's learning from his mistakes. He's course correcting. And I'm feeling a lot better about the future of this team after this offseason. That is for damn sure. And then shout out to Ryan saying, we know what the F we're talking about. You're damn right we do.
We absolutely do. And listen, Sam, this is a really good point you made. Really, really, really good point you made, because Anthony, you and I have been saying this is the year that we see if Joe Shane figured out whether or not he learned from his own mistakes, right? Did he learn from his mistakes? Did he learn from the mistakes of extending Daniel Jones or drafting specific players? He seemingly did, right? He went BPA for most of this draft, right? I think SKATTEBO was BPA. You could argue maybe MBOW was BPA, but Abdul Carter was BPA. I think that in the 3rd round, getting Darius Alexander, he was absolutely BPA. Most people had him as a 2nd round pick, and he was there in the 3rd. So I do think that this team so far has just gotten better. You have a starting edge rusher. You have your quarterback for the future. Obviously, assuming he does take the steps forward behind the scenes. You have a starting caliber running back in Cam Scataboo. You have a starting defensive tackle next to Dexter Lawrence, and we'll see what they do in the 5th and 7th rounds here. So I do think that there are, a lot of starters that were just drafted, a lot of holes that were just plugged. And the Giants went from having one of the worst quarterback rooms in the league to at least competency. I would say at least competency across the board. Russell Wilson is competent. Jameis Winston, he's occasionally competent. Jackson Dart, he doesn't even have to see the field. He can just sit there, learn, soak up all this information, then apply it in 2026 when he knows the offense like the back of his hand. And I love how competitive he is. This guy's going into training camp thinking, I'm going to be QB1. You know, I'm going to earn QB1. Does he think he's going to be QB1 on day one? Probably not, but he's going to do everything he possibly can to be the best player he can be. And if he takes to the coaching and if he takes to everything Brian Dable has to offer and soaks up all the information and he's willing to learn, I don't see why Jackson Dart can't be a great football player. You know what I mean? I don't see why he can't be. People keep putting limitations on this kid, and I absolutely freaking hate it when people put limitations on players that we don't even know who they are yet. Jackson Dart has a solid arm. He's a solid athlete. He's got good mobility. You know what I mean? He's a gunslinger. Why do we have to put limitations on this guy? Let's let this man develop. Let's let this guy actually take steps forward before we call him the next Daniel Jones. Like, let's stop with the BS right now. You know, give this man a chance. We are Giants fans. We're not trying to hate on a new player who's never played a snap for us yet. You know what I mean? 6 years of DJ, yeah, we can hate on Daniel Jones, but we have never seen Jackson Dart play a damn snap for this team. So let's back him and support him and look at the good traits because he's got plenty of them. That's kind of what I have to say about this point. But Anthony, I mean, so far, I think, like Sam said, Joe's learned from his lessons. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think he's definitely learned from his lessons. I think the value that they've invested into the quarterback position is massive. As we've been saying all of season long, they've hedged their bets. They have a young rookie in here with Dart. They have a veteran with experience. Two of them with Jameis Winston and Russell Wilson. Very, very important. So I'm really excited about that. I guess I missed it. Trevor Etienne got drafted. That obviously breaks my heart. But hey, we got Scataboo, so it's all good. Neo Unrealist saying, so Joe Shane lurks in the Fireside Giants chat. Neo Unrealist, thank you so much for the super chat. And yeah, I think it's safe to say he's listening. I think it's safe to say somebody in the Giants front office is listening to us, Alex.
I mean, damn, we were kind of spot on for this draft class. So I'm pretty excited about just how accurate we were and, you know, how in tune we are with this team's needs, really, like where this team needs to upgrade things. So absolutely agree with you there.
Yeah, I mean, listen, we called all these picks. We talked about every single one of these guys. Everybody that the Giants have drafted so far had a dedicated episode at one point or another here on Fireside Giants. That's telling you something, guys. We are putting in the work. And Nick, thank you so much for the super chat saying, let's fucking go. Scat Pack. Yes, sir. Scataboo.
Scatterbo, I mean, this guy is going to be a fan favorite on day one. Just how hard he plays, just how tough he is. And I'm going to tell you right now, he is the guy I'm giving the ball to on first and second down. Tyrone Tracy is my third down back right now. And Cam Scataboo can do all of it, right? He's a very underrated receiver. But I do think that Scataboo should be getting a bulk of the carries, at least splitting and let the best man win. You know, split the carries on week one and just let whoever's the hot hand, you just keep feeding them reps. That's kind of how I go about it. And right now on the goal line, Tyrone Tracy fumbled way too many freaking times. Scataboo is my goal line back for sure right now.
Absolutely. He's so dynamic. I love his ability to make plays, out of the backfield. Also, I just saw a video. Did you see that video yesterday of Shedeur Sanders getting prank called?
That is the craziest thing I've ever seen because he was like, nobody has this number. How that evil stuff. I mean, talk about knocking a guy when he's down. Not even I would do that. Not even I would do that. And I've been called a hater.
But I just found on Twitter there's a video of these Ole Miss frat dudes making the phone call. So now we know who did it. Yeah, it's crazy.
Oh, they're gonna get sued. They're gonna get sued for something.
Want to give a shout out to this comment that came from the X live stream. This is not even a Giants fan. This is an Arizona State fan saying, we're going to love Scat. Thanks so much for tuning in. And we already do, man. We already love Scataboo. We're super excited. Sean, I will not be on Bleacher Report today. Did make the live stream last night, real late at night, like 10 o'clock. But no, I'll be back on Bleacher Report Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern. See you there. What else we got in the chat? Deca left 2 super chats. Deca, thank you so much. Followed it up with another super chat saying, what do you think will happen with Tommy Cutlets? The Giants are going to do everything they can to keep him on their practice squad. That's what they're going to do.
He's going to be cutting cutlets for the boys. He's going to be making food for the other quarterbacks. That's what happened.
All right, this the guy who's like the most important quarterback in the Giants room right now because he's been with the team for 2 years and has won games with them. Get out of here, bro. Show some love for the guy. Come on now.
He screwed us out of Jaden Daniels. I have no love for him.
No, he didn't. He did not screw us out of anybody. The Giants defense forced 20 turnovers in 5 weeks. That was the defense's fault.
20 turnovers.
That's not even a joke. They had like 20 or 18 turnovers or something.
It's just insane. It's just crazy to think that
Yeah,
the
blame
defense
Wink
went on
Martindale, bro. Wink Martindale is the Giants' biggest villain. He screwed us out of Jaden Daniels and these others, and then FO'd back to Michigan. Get out of here, bro.
Oh my
Show some
God.
love for my boy Tommy. Good camp quarterback. That's the Giants need that, man. They need somebody on the practice squad.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's fine. Put him on the practice squad. I'm fine with that.
Yes, sir. Great chat here from Marine saying Fireside Giants. Anthony pulling no punches. You talk smack about our Giants. You're gone. Goddamn job, Anthony. Thanks so much, man. Listen, I am actually going to pull this up, Alex, because while you were talking about Jackson Dart, I gotta show this, my other screen.
He's got so much aura, dude. So much aura.
He does. I was scrolling through the Fireside Giants YouTube. My God, have we been talking about Jackson Dart for a long time? Streamed 3 months ago. Look at this. Could the Giants steal their quarterback in the mid-rounds, quarterback backup plans? 3 months ago, this was posted. And 4 weeks ago, could the Giants make a blockbuster move for Jackson Dart in the first round? This is why you guys listen to Fireside Giants, man. This is why you listen to Fireside Giants, because we are always talking about things way before anybody else sees them coming. And we do it because we have such a great community and so many supporters. So it's just another reason for me to sit here and say, yes, we did a great job, but also we did a great job because of you guys and the amount of support that you show us. So thank you so much for tuning in and helping us out and showing that support every single day.
Absolutely. And listen, man, it's for real. And I have to say, with the Jackson Dart one, sometimes it's as simple as we knew Brian Daboll was going to be the one picking his quarterback, right? We knew it was Brian Daboll's decision who they were drafting. And it was so obvious watching Jackson Dart that he was the guy that he was going to fall in love with. You know what I mean? It was so obvious that he was going to fall in love with this player because Jackson Dart is just, he has the mentality of Josh Allen. You can see it on the football field. He wants to make crazy things happen. He wants to make like blockbuster throws and big ass plays, and he wants to escape the pocket. He wants to be a gunslinger. Everything about him screamed, Josh Allen mentality. And I was like, okay, this is the guy he wants. It's so clear. But Anthony, let me ask you a question. All the reports coming out around, I don't know if you've talked about this already, but I want to get I don't know. So you let me know. But what do you think about the Todd McShay report saying that Shedeur Sanders like completely bombed his, did you talk about this already? Because like, I want to get your opinion on it.
We've low-key probably talked about it too much. It keeps getting brought up, but I'll give another abbreviated take on it. Essentially, if you guys haven't heard it, Todd McShay said that the Giants gave Shedeur Sanders an install package and he showed up to their next meeting completely unprepared. Essentially what that means, they gave him homework. He blew off the homework. When he was confronted about the homework, he got into it with Brian Daboll and didn't take accountability. This is my take on it, Alex. Again, in abbreviated fashion, this is a story that is not exclusive to the New York Giants is my take on it. I think this happened to the Giants. The fact that Todd McShay heard about it means that a lot of NFL teams probably also heard about it, and that's why he's falling in the draft. I think when you show up completely unprepared to a meeting like that, it shows that you don't care. It's just a lack of preparation and a lack of effort and a lack of work ethic. So I think it's a story that's not exclusive to the Giants. I think it probably happened on more than one occasion, or it happened to the Giants and the Giants told people about it, and now everybody is staying away. I think it's crazy. The talent is there, but clearly the focus and the preparation during the draft process wasn't. It's a shame to see this happening to Shedeur, but it is the nature of the NFL.
Yeah, I think the number one thing is we both, I mean, at least I don't remember if you do, but I'm pretty sure you acknowledge this too. I think you brought it up first, actually. Sanders was never good enough to skip out on the Senior Bowl or the Combine or any of those things. Like he was never good enough. And I don't know where anyone got this idea that he was some like lock top 3 pick. It was never the case. He should have been throwing at the Combine. He should have been at the damn Senior Bowl, at the Shrine Bowl. He should have been doing the interviews. He should have been prepared and not acting as if he deserved to be there because my daddy's Dion. You know what I mean? Like he just expected to be there. He expected to be this guy. He thought his daddy was going to hand deliver him a first round draft pick. And I think the NFL, what we're seeing right now, is the NFL showing it like this is not going to work. This media campaign of being a first round pick, it's not going to work. You can't drive the NFL decision makers to draft a guy because the Colorado film crew is going around watching you all the time. It just, you can't do that stuff, man. It's absolutely ridiculous. He's sliding because the NFL's trying to send, at this point at least, he's sliding because the NFL is trying to send a message to future prospects. If you pull this shit, you will not be drafted. You know what I mean? So I think this is a message being sent at this point because he is good enough to be a 4th round pick, like objectively, right? Like, has he even been drafted?
Absolutely. Yet? No, he still hasn't been drafted. I mean,
Holy crap.
he's absolutely good enough to be a second round pick, but like
Good
that's the
message.
thing. He was a second round prospect essentially, and he acted like he was a lock for the top 3. And this is what I said. Why are you not competing? The Jay Glazer report that came out hours before the draft, Alex, has never been more relevant. He said that teams
He was
usually
targeted.
have 2 boxes. Teams usually have 2 boxes that you need to check. A medical history and an off the field character issue. Like if you have those 2 boxes checked, you're going to be drafted ungradable. This year they added a 3rd box, and it was, do you love football? It's a big change because of NIL deals and the way that the game and the world has evolved. Do you love football? I think was the big question that teams had for Shedeur Sanders. And I think that him blowing off that install package, Giants checked that box and marked him undraftable because of that. I think that was really the big thing. I don't think he showed that he loves football because he didn't compete at the Combine and he didn't compete at the Senior Bowl or the Shrine Bowl. He blew off any opportunity they had to compete. You know who competed, Alex? Jackson Dart went 18 of 23 at the Combine and with his throwing drills, with a couple drops in there, impressed some people and got drafted in the 1st round as a result. So, Alex, we do have another super chat here from Neil Unrealist. Thank you so much, Neil. I'm going to let you read it off and respond to it because I got to take a pee. I'll be right back.
So, Neil Unrealist, appreciate you, my friend. 2 7th-round flyers if they're still on the board. Holland Pierce, 6'8", 341 pounds. That's a big boy. And Isaiah Nayor, a 6'4", 218-pound receiver, 4'4", 40, and a 9.9 relative athletic score. That's pretty good. I mean, anything when you can get a 7th-round pick with a 9.9 RIS, that is tremendous. When you're looking at Holland Pierce, that's a big boy at right tackle. I wonder how he moves. I haven't seen it. But man, this is definitely an interesting draft class. Just looking at what's happening right now. Man, Trevor Etienne goes to the Panthers, and then when do we come up next? So we're in the 5th round at pick. Oh, we're back there, man. We're going to pick 154. I know a lot of people want Marcus MBOW. And in the chat, do you guys think that the Giants should trade up for Marcus MBOW? I mean, if he's still on the board, that's kind of interesting. I was doing some research on him this morning. He's primarily a right tackle. So the reason I think he's falling right now is because he hasn't played right guard 2 years ago. I do think that teams are unsure if he can play guard because and he can't play tackle most likely in the NFL because his arms are too short. So I wonder if teams, are letting him slide because they're unsure of him at guard because it's been 2 years since he's played the position. Now he has to transfer over there. So he basically has to start from day one, as learning a new position in the NFL. So I do think that might be a reason why Marcus MBOW is sliding a bit, but let's see who the best available players are right now on the board. So of course, Shedeur Sanders is one by a long shot. Jalen Royals, Jalen Lane. Let's see. I mean, MBOW is the 8th ranked player right now. Miles Frazier is interesting.
Yeah. I heard some of what you said. Why do you think he's falling? What happened with MBOW?
So MBOW, the reason I think he's falling is that he's a right tackle, right, for Purdue, but he's not going to be a right tackle in the NFL because his arms are way too short. So the reason I think he's falling is that he's going to have to move to guard, and he hasn't played guard in 2 years. So basically, he's going to have to learn this position from scratch in the NFL.
Well, he has played it though. Didn't he start?
No, he did
as a guard?
2 years ago. Yeah, 2 years ago he played, but it's been 2 freaking years. So he's basically going into the NFL, like having to relearn the position for the most part against professionals. And he's he's also a really good athlete, but he's not the strongest guy in the world. So he's kind of a scheme specific guard for a team that pulls.
Sick too, though.
I was going to say he's actually a really good guard for a pulling, like the 49ers would be a good team to draft him because they like to run a lot of outside stuff and he pulls really well. Like he gets to the second level really well. So I do think that for a team that runs a lot of outside zone, I think the Eagles, I think they like their guards a little bit bigger, like athletic and big. So I don't think he's a great fit, but for a mobile guard, he is actually a decent fit for their scheme.
I do too. And 2 things that I'll say. Number one, I did hear you while I was going to the bathroom. I heard you ask, should the Giants trade up for him? I said that before you got in this live stream. Yes. Okay. If he falls into that 130, 140 range, take one of those 7th round picks that you have, take a 7th next year, move up like 10, 20 spots if that's what it takes. Go get him. I think he's a perfect fit for the Giants, and I think he's so talented. They had a 30 visit with him for a reason. They're clearly interested. Hopefully he falls to us at 154, but if he continues to fall, yes, I would be willing to trade up for him. And the second thing that I had to say, Alex, good job on getting your Wi-Fi fixed because you're looking crystal clear right now.
I don't know what's going on, dude, but it's just a good day in the Wi-Fi for me. So I'm taking it. I appreciate that.
Yep. Shout out to Sam with a great super chat here. I also just realized that we flipped sides, but that's okay. I think this is the standard way we usually do it. Yeah. Sam, thanks for the super chat asking Alex, not for me, but just for you, Alex. So I'll let you get the first crack at it. Will Mara give Joe and Daves a 1-year extension so that they can work with Jackson Dart?
I appreciate you, Sam. And honestly, I think that if the Giants win more than 6 games or more, I think their jobs are safe for one more year, because then you can argue that, they're trending in a better direction. The schedule is pretty tough this year. So I think 6 wins or more, they hang on for a year, but anything 5 or less, I think they're probably fired and the new regime takes over. However, Anthony, is there
They've
a
got
world
1 year
where
left on their deals, though, right? Just to confirm.
they
Before you
do?
ask.
I think
Okay.
they have 2 more. I think it was 5-year deals, right?
Yeah, it should be. So that would be, this is their
Yes,
4th. So then they have next year as well, right?
correct.
Yeah.
So the only thing that I would question is this: if the Giants get to the end of the season, they don't win enough games, right? Is it possible they would fire both of them or only one of them? Because right now there's talent on this team, man. And honestly, I would argue there's too much talent on this. I would argue there's too much upside on this team, not talent, but upside on this team, to completely blame Joe Shane right now based on the talent. But I have to say, like, if the offense is not good and the offense is averaging like bottom half of the league again, it's Brian Dable's fault, right? Like, who else is there to blame except for him? The defense, I think Shane Bowen probably gets axed unless he has some masterful, schematic related season. But I don't see that coming, to be quite honest with you. I don't know. Like, do you think they would fire both or maybe just one of them? And what would the situation be?
Depends on the season. I think that you're right about there being too much talent on the defensive side of the ball. Too much talent on that defensive line not to have 50 sacks this year, a bunch of forced fumbles, and a top 15 defensive unit. Like, that has to be the bare minimum. Like, this should be a top 10 unit with the amount that they've invested in that defensive line. So no excuses there. I don't think Joe Shane should be safe because he still has a couple of major blemishes on his resume. He's course corrected and he's doing better now, but he has some major blemishes. But really, though, I think that it more realistically, Alex, there would be a world where Dable is kept and not Shane. The Giants have gone the route of firing the coach and letting the GM hire another coach, and it's never worked out for them. If anything, I think that what they would or could do is fire the GM, bring in a new GM, and the GM decides whether or not to keep Dable. I think that Dable has pulled some wins out of his ass, like Tommy DeVito, 3-game win streak. That's Brian Dable. Like, Dable has won some games he had no business winning with a really, really bad roster. But they have done a good job adding talent this offseason. So I don't know. It's really just going to depend. We got to see how the season goes. If the offense with Russell Wilson sucks once again, yeah, Dable's going to get fired. But if the offense is good and they lose some close games because of the defense, maybe Bowen gets fired and GM Joe Shane gets another year. So I don't know. I think that we'll see. It's going to be really interesting to watch it all play out, though.
It absolutely is.
For the super chat.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And Anthony, let me ask you a question. I do think the 5th round pick will be an offensive player. There's 2 guys I have in mind. And let me know if you like them or if you go a different direction. The first one is Miles Frazier, assuming that Marcus MBOW is off the board by then. I like Miles Frazier. He's a right guard, has experience recently playing right guard. He has experience at left tackle as well, from LSU. So obviously playing against really good competition. And Xavier Restrepo. I really like Xavier Restrepo, and I do think the Giants maybe should consider. I know he's a slot-only guy, but Wan'Dale's coming to the end of his deal. This is his last year under contract, and the Giants can replace him with a 5th rounder most likely. And I really like Restrepo. He is a tough guy. He's got really good hands, and he can make stuff happen after the catch too. Is that someone you'd consider, or is there someone else on offense you might be looking at?
There's a few guys that I'm looking at. I really love the way that the board is falling. I can't believe how much talent is still available in this 5th round. A lot of times we get to these or 4th round, but a lot of times we get to the day 3 and it's a lot of guys you just don't know about. There's a lot of guys I know about right now. There's some really good talent, and Bow would be my top target. I'm really hoping that he falls, and he really might because it's sliding. Now that we're in the 120s, if we get to the 130s, like I said, I would make a trade. But he's one of those players, and that Stanford wide receiver, I'm going to keep bringing him up. Has he been drafted yet? I still don't know how to say his name. Alec Aomanor, I think is how you say it. But that Stanford receiver is sick, man. I don't know how he's still on the board. He was the number 35 ranked player on PFF's big board. 35. And we're at pick 123. And also, I want to throw this out there. Jack Sawyer to the Steelers in the 4th round is such a perfect fit and such a good draft pick. That might be one of the biggest steals of the class. That was unbelievable.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, so the only problem with Alec Ayamanor, sounds like he's from Lord of the Rings, by the way, is he drops a lot of passes. So that's the only problem
What's a
with him
lot?
is that
What's the number?
I think it says he had 15 over the past 2 seasons. So averaging 7 per season. It's a lot. I mean, it's Jalen Hyatt questionability when it comes to, or Darius Slayton rather, drop passes. It's a lot
Ran a
of drop
faster.
passes.
I think his 40 time was the same as Jalen Hyatt's actually. I mean, he's fast. I don't know. He's got size though, more size than Hyatt had. I don't know. I like him. I think he's a really good player.
I mean, I like Royals too. I know a lot of people are saying him, but I don't think he's going to be there
Yeah.
when we get there. Is the only
Shout out
problem.
to Jeffrey Wheeler for bringing up Royals here. Thank you for the super chat saying trade Hyatt, move up for Royals. Royals is an interesting player.
I would absolutely
I personally wouldn't trade Jalen Hyatt. I still think cheap depth on a rookie contract. I'm going to hold on to him, but it depends who we end up drafting here. So we'll see.
I would trade Hyatt. I wouldn't even think twice about it personally. Just to address this, Restrepo had a hamstring injury. He tweeted after this bad 40 time. So keep that in mind if you're using that. Yeah, whatever that means. But
hamstring injury. Yeah.
As for this,
excuse for his poor 40.
I guess so. Is Restrepo the little guy? He's a slot receiver, so therefore, yes, he is technically the little guy. But he is bigger than Wandale.
Jason's asking about Tez Johnson. I'm the same weight as Tez Johnson, which blows my goddamn mind. The fact that we have a wide receiver in this draft class under 160 pounds, it's historic. First of all, he's the lightest player to ever enter the draft. That's who he's asking about. So not Restrepo, that's Tez Johnson out of Oregon, who's actually a really good player, but no way he can hold up at that weight at the NFL level.
Very, very interesting. Okay, so Tez, yeah, I mean, he is tiny. I would not. He reminds me of that freaking guy, the Rams, Tutu Atwell, that tiny little fella. You know, little zygote.
Tutu's much exceeded any expectations people have for him. He's played pretty good.
He was a second-round pick, though. I feel like he's not been second-round pick value.
He was drafted in the second. I thought he was like in the fourth. My fault.
I think he was a second-round pick. I was like Tutu Atwell in the second. I was like blown away. But anyway, yes, give me the man and the myth, the legend, LeJohntay West. Or if we're going to take anyone from Colorado, let it be the GOAT, LeJontay.
Yeah, he actually might be seventh. So
I was going to say you might be able to get him as a UDFA.
Yeah, you might,
which is crazy. He's a good player though. Like, I actually
has anyone from Colorado been drafted?
Travis Hunter. That's it.
Yeah, well, outside of Travis, is anybody else?
Yeah, I don't think it's no, but I mean Sanders hasn't. So like, who else would be? Right.
Well, they've got some receivers. I thought they had another defensive back too.
Jimmy Horn. Crazy. I mean, Shiloh Sanders might get drafted before Shedeur at this point.
Stop it. You have to stop.
I had to. It was just such an easy layup joke.
It was. This is a good one. Yeah, nobody else from. You still got Shiloh, Will Shepard, BJ Green, LeJohntay, and Jimmy Horn, and of course Shedeur. I don't know, man. Crazy stuff. We talked so much about how this Colorado team was so good, and
nobody else.
I don't know. I guess that's the Dion effect.
You know, like it's just Dion knew how to make that team look and the players look a lot better, I guess, than they actually were through the schematics. I mean, I kept seeing, like, you know, we called Pat Shurmur's offense a pro style offense, and every analyst was like, it's not a pro style offense. Like, no offense is dinking and dunking the way that they were like that. So it was interesting.
My take on it was, no, it's not a pro style offense. However, it was pro style in the sense that they asked him to play like a pro and make very quick reads and throw so much. That was really my take. But they weren't running like a lot of pro style passing concepts, essentially.
Okay. I will say another player I do like is Chris Paul Jr., that linebacker out of Ole Miss. He's also pretty good. He's a guy that can really, you know, stuff the gaps and whatnot and really help in the run game. Maybe I wouldn't take him. I think I want to go offense in the fifth, but if he was BPA, I wouldn't mind it. You know, at this point, it's like just get the best players available in the fifth round. You know, you don't need to reach in the fifth. Just get the best players. You know, that I kind of think that's probably what I would do. What do you think about that? Even if it's not offense.
Got to go BPA. I always say it, especially on day 3. The worst thing you can do is reach for talent on day 3 because the talent that you're reaching for is absolutely not fantastic. So that's like the worst time to reach is day 3. So yeah, BPA all the way.
I do agree with that. Anyone else that stands out? I mean, at this point, it doesn't feel as though the Giants, and I kind of get it now. They added so many offensive linemen and free agency, even depth pieces, that they probably were thinking we're not going to draft one. It definitely feels that way, right? It definitely feels like the Giants plan to not draft an offensive lineman in free
No, I don't agree
agency.
with that.
No, because they added Stinney and Greg Van Roten and another guy, James Hudson. Like they really added so many. So
They added
it's
some
interesting.
depth pieces, but they met with Marcus MBOW on a 30 visit. They met with Donovan Jackson, who was a top. He went in the first round.
Yeah,
So they met with
out
him.
of range.
Yeah, but he would have been there at 34 if the draft fell that way. So I don't know. I think that they want to draft an offensive lineman, and I think they will with their next pick.
I mean, I wouldn't hate it. The question is who. Right now, the top offensive tackles are Cameron Williams out of Texas, Logan Brown from Kansas, Johnny Cornelius from Oregon. It's probably. I know someone mentioned Holland Pierce in the 7th round before. Big boy, 6'8", 341. My goodness. But Cameron Williams, 6'6", 317. They label him a developmental right tackle with intriguing tools. He's big and strong enough to wall off defenders and get some push in the run game. He's effective combo blocking to the second level and engulfs defenders in space. I mean, listen, at this point, maybe you just say Cameron or Brasillo, Mr. Brasillo, who do you want? You know what I mean? Who do you want? Like, who is a developmental guard or tackle that you think could be really good in the NFL? Maybe that's what they.
Well, that would be MBOW, because I don't think that he's probably. I doubt Carmen Brasillo met with or watched that much film on draft prospects. So, but he definitely met Marcus MBOW because he was in the building. So I think that would end up being a pick. The Giants had a lot of 30 visits on guys picking that are going to be picked on day 3. There's still quite a few of their 30 visits on the board right now. I would expect them to dig into that 30 visit bag and take one of these guys with their next pick, whether that's MBOW, whether that's Jalen Reed, the safety out of Penn State, or somebody else. There's still some guys that we know that they like on the board. Even if it's Joshua Farmer out of Florida State, the defensive tackle, they already went DT with Darius Alexander. They could afford to keep adding depth, and it's day 3. This is what it's for. So I think they're going to keep digging into that top 30 bag here.
Yeah, it's definitely possible. I mean, we are a long ways away from their 5th pick, right? In 174, is it? 154, sorry.
154.
So 154.
So we're 29 picks away.
How many minutes is each pick now? Like 2?
5 minutes, I think.
5 minutes. So
but
many picks.
They don't use the full 5 minutes. They go so fast.
Yeah, true. Yeah, now they kind of zoom through it at this point in the draft. But I mean, let's see, man. Jack Beshatu. What did the Raiders do in this draft? I'm kind of curious. Who are they picking the
Raiders
first round? They ended up
draft,
with
dude.
Ashton Jetney.
Such a good draft.
Dude, Jetney's gonna be sick for them.
They got Darian Porter too, that 6'4" cornerback who had like a 9.99 relative athletic score. Yeah, sick player.
Who's had a good draft? Low key, the Jets have had a good draft too.
Yeah, they got that FSU corner that you like. He's sick.
Azariah Thomas. I really like him. And Armand Membao is nasty. And so they got him in the 3rd. They got Mason Taylor, tight end out of LSU in the 2nd round. He had 1,000 yards last year and 100 receptions. My God. Wow. Yeah, he's a freak pass catcher. Yeah, I mean, they're having a good draft. Can't believe Tyler Shuck went 40th overall. That feels so early for Tyler Shuck. Crazy high for him.
Yo, have you seen how Saints fans are crashing out? Have you seen this? It's like hilarious watching.
Do they crash out?
Saints fans' reactions, dude. Yes, but I just wanted to point that out to say their crash outs look pedestrian compared to what my crash out would have looked like if we drafted Tyler Shuck. It would have looked unbelievable if the Giants drafted Tyler Shuck. You guys would have seen a side of me that you've never seen before.
I mean, he's 26. That's the guy that's 26. He's 26 years old, injury prone as hell. Like, why would you? I mean, dude, we're talking the quarterback that we just drafted. 15 picks ahead of him is 5 years younger than Tyler Shuck. 5 years younger. If Jackson Dart pans out, we're gonna have this kid until he's 35. This kid, he's been a quarterback for 15 freaking years. You know what I mean? Like Tyler Shuck's gonna be in Wheel. He's gonna be freaking Walker in 4 years. Like my God, crazy. I do like Miles Frazier though. A lot of people dropping him in the chat right now. Wow, Jonas Savaiinaea went really early. I thought he was gonna go way later than 37th. My goodness.
Yeah, he went early. He deserves it, though. He's a good player.
He is a good player. I really liked him. Luther Burden at 39. Interesting. Alfred Collins at 43. Goodness gracious. That's early, too. We thought he was going to be there at 65. And Dylan Gabriel going.
There was a chance he'd be there at 65. 43
chance, but still 43 is hot. I mean, it's still It's still earlier than I thought, but man, Dylan Gabriel going before Shedeur. I mean, this is the NFL setting.
Are you just like catching up on the draft right now? Are you like?
I'm just going through and seeing the ones that
this?
surprised me. No, I saw, but I'm just like surprising, like looking through it again to surprise myself, like about how much earlier or later people went. But Dylan Gabriel going before Sanders. This is a message, dude. The NFL sending a message. There's no other way to describe it. Oh, Elijah Arroyo to the Seahawks. I really like actually at 50. That's a nice pick. Trey Harris to the Chargers, dude. Your boys got Trey Harris.
Yeah, I know. I reacted to that yesterday on the live stream.
That's
a
sick.
Sick pick for them.
That's awesome.
Dude, they got Trey Harris and Omarion Hampton. They got two of my favorite guys.
Damn, dude. The Chargers are going to be a freaking badass this year. They're going to be really
so
freaking
excited.
good
I'm definitely going to a Chargers game this year. I can't freaking wait. I'm flying out to LA and I'm going to a game.
Just so you guys know, the Chargers are basically Anthony's side chick.
Everybody here knows that. We actually made that exact joke last night. I said, if you've ever seen The Sopranos, the Giants are my wife and the Chargers are my guma.
Your guma.
My guma.
Nice. Yeah, well, the Chargers are a fun team, man. I have nothing wrong with the Chargers.
Giants Chargers play this year, but it's up in New York, so I might go to that. If it was in LA, I would absolutely be there, but I'll probably go to the one up in MetLife as well. So we'll keep you guys posted for a Fireside Giants meetup for sure.
That's a good idea. You know what really pisses me off? How the Ravens and Eagles always manage to get like the really good players that drop ridiculously far. Mike Green at 59 to the Ravens is just such a steal of a pick. Like,
yeah, it's an absolute steal, but I wouldn't touch him with a 50,000-foot pole.
He's got problems, right? What is it? What is his problems again?
As Cameron Simpson in the chat yesterday put it, are these problems similar to Ben Roethlisberger's? The answer is yes.
Fat and slow? I'm just kidding. Okay, that's really bad. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. The Ravens.
Ben Roethlisberger wasn't even slow. That comes out of nowhere. He was mobile when he came out of college.
Old Big Ben. Old Big Ben was fat and slow as hell.
That's why I didn't say he wasn't fat.
Fair enough.
Said he wasn't.
But I'll tell you what. The Mike Green, the Ravens feel like they could fix him. You know, like my first girlfriend, she thought she could fix me. No freaking way.
Please stop.
Giants fan for life. She said, "You don't have to be a Giants fan. You don't have to be depressed." I said, "I have to be."
No, it is true though. That's like the exact team that just is going to take the best player available no matter what and get amazing value because the guy dropped for something other than football and he's going to be a stud for them. So good for the Ravens. Right. Maybe not good for the Ravens because they're harboring a few fugitives. Justin Tucker being one of them, but
I'm gonna start calling their team Alcatraz because they just have an entire team of freaking criminals.
It's actually unbelievable what they're doing over there. They're literally, what's it? The longest yard. That's the Ravens.
The longest yard, yeah.
Yo, another tackle just came off the board here.
That's crazy.
Marcus MBOW is still sitting there. I really wish the Giants had their early 5th round pick, but they traded that. So they have, who do they have? Carolinas or Seattle?
I need to look up why MBOW is falling so far. Why is he going? What's happening to him?
I don't know, but this is shaping up perfectly for the Giants that he just keeps slipping because we know that they like him. They had a 30 visit, unless he failed his 30 visit. And you know what? Maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's what it is. Who knows? Maybe he didn't visit well with the Giants and some other teams, and that's why he's falling.
There's got to be a reason.
Baltimore Penitentiary. These are good. The AFC North is a breeding ground for criminals. What is going on in the AFC North? That division is like, you walk through that division, you better wear some Kevlar.
Please add more of these. The Baltimore Penitentiary is hilarious.
It is. The Arkham Asylum is really good too.
That's so. Oh my goodness,
dude! If you've ever played the Batman Arkham video games, they're the best video games of all time. I love those games so much.
I have not. I have
my favorite games ever. Arkham City is my favorite game ever.
I feel like
Browns double dipped at running back. Browns getting Quinshon Judkins was kind of sick, man. They got Sampson as well. That Tennessee or Texas, whichever one.
Interesting. Oh, the video of Cam Scataboo. Let me see this guy. Come on, baby. He's crying, dude. This guy loves it so much. He's going to ball for us, bro. Oh, my God.
That's a guy who loves football. That's huge. Like,
dude.
That's a guy who's going to work so
giant
hard.
Man. Oh, my God. You guys have no idea how hyped I am about this pick. Like, this is the bet. This may be one of our best picks of this year. Like, he's going to be an absolute animal for this team. He's going to lay his life down for this team. my goodness, man. Him scoring in front of Jerry Jones is going to give me life. I'm going to add years back to my life after the Giants took them from me the last 2 years. Actually, like 5 or 6 years. They stole years from me, the Giants. I'm owed. I think we're all due a couple years.
We're owed
Don't even have to go to
for
therapy.
the things
If they win games, I don't have to go to therapy ever.
We just need championships. That's the only way that they can make up for the things that they did to us.
Yeah, for real. They actually put us through pain like I've never experienced. Like Anthony and I recording after week 10 last year was like, we were just like, what time you want to record? Like, God, this is going to suck. Like every day is brutality. Like if you guys have been with us through those times, you know how important this is to us. You know how much we care about this community. You know how much we care about this team. You guys have been there every step of the way. My goodness, it's just been absolute hell for the last couple of years, and I'm so excited. And the one thing I love about what the Giants are doing right now is they're adding players who freaking love football. You know, they live and die. They breathe football. Everything.
No, yeah.
Everything they do. It's a different. It really makes talk about culture. This is Jackson Dart and Cam Scataboo are going to be culture setters for this team.
Agreed.
Culture setters. You cannot replace this level of impact.
Scataboo! Had to do it again. Sorry. It's going to be happening.
I think we have to make a t-shirt. New t-shirt, scat pack.
Scat pack. That's so
smoking
good.
on that scat pack.
Danny. We should send that to
Scat
Danny
pack with a cigarette on the side.
Somebody in the chat earlier said, what did they say? They said Tracy Boo. That's the new backfield. Tracy Boo.
Tracy. That's really cute. I like that.
Yeah. Also, somebody asked what number Scataboo is going to wear. I do think 4 is retired for the Giants, but 44, Ahmad Bradshaw, ooh, that would be nice. And I looked up, is 44 taken right now? It's taken on the Giants by a man named Demetrius Flanagan Fowles. I'm laughing just because how crazy that name sounds, but I think cool. I think Scataboo will get that number back. I think he can get 44. He should wear 44. I would look sick on him. What about 24? Is 24 available? That's Dane Belton. He might get cut, so he'll get a 4 number, I think.
Oh, Dane Belton was such a waste of a pick, man. The guy just never even got a chance. So unfortunate. He also didn't make sense for our scheme at all when they drafted him. Dane Belton. I don't even know. Like he didn't make any sense.
Dane Belton was another need pick. They lost Julian Love in free agency. They said we got to replace him, and they drafted out of need. I did not like that, but it is what it is. Again, I think Shane is learning from his mistakes.
Ooh, apparently Russell Wilson likes Scataboo too. That's cool. Maybe that played in him.
Cameron Simpson with a wild comment here saying that the Ravens have a team that emulates the city. That's wild. That's kind of messed up.
I guess he's not wrong, technically. 44 is pretty cool.
44 is perfect, bro.
I do agree. Oh, dude,
and I'm fine taking the number 44 off of Demetrius Flanagan Fowles is back.
Like that video where he just grabs the back of his shirt, just rips his shit off.
Yes. We can do that to Demetrius Flanagan Fowles. I don't know why I find his name.
Who is that? Do you know who that is?
Some linebacker on the Giants. I think they signed him this offseason. The backup. He's not going to play.
Okay. Oh man, that video! I just love to see our prospects crying when they get drafted by us. It's freaking amazing. It just brings absolute joy to my heart.
The Eagles just traded up with the Jets. You think they're going to take Shedeur?
No, they're going to take MBOW.
Oh, that would suck. I'd be pissed if they took MBOW. I might actually.
They're going to take MBOW. I'm going to bet they take MBOW.
That a team to keep an eye on for Shedeur is the Eagles. Did you see that or no?
Why?
Because this is what they do. A great talent starts falling inexplicably. Yes, there's some question marks. They take him anyway.
Oh, they do. God. I think they're going to take MBOW right now because he's a good fit for them.
He's a good talent who's falling down the board as well, so would make sense.
This is a crazy meme I just saw. Oh, my God. I'm going to text it to you just so you can laugh in real time with me.
I hope it's not the Timberwolves meme that accidentally just popped up on my Twitter. Did you see that one?
It's not.
I'm going to send you that. Oh, never mind. It refreshed. It went away. Thank God, because that was awful. Yeah, that one we're not going to show and share our screen. That's a funny meme.
Oh gosh, what are
Malachi
doing?
Moore to the Jets. Or is that to
Okay.
the Eagles? I thought they
Wait,
traded.
I thought you said
I don't know. I thought so, but it's showing to the Jets. What happened here?
did the Jets trade up?
Maybe. I don't know. But Malachi Moore, I had him going in like the 7th to the Giants in some mock drafts. He's a good player. But so I didn't expect him to actually make it to the 7th. But he goes here in the 4th. It's a good pick. We got a chat from Ryan saying Demetrius Flanagan-Fowles was my favorite player growing up. The level of disrespect for an all-worldly talent is sad. My wife and kids are now horrified. Ryan, I'm really sorry for your wife and your kiddos. But I hate to break this to you. I don't think Demetrius is making the roster.
He's definitely not. Oh my god, I'm watching this prank video of Shedeur. My god.
Oof. I think it's cruel. I think the prank video is cruel and messed up.
I'm watching it right now. I'm watching the kids do it.
But it's kind of funny. But it's cruel.
Oh, my dude's reading off a script.
I got to ask my friend from Ole Miss if they know the people who made that phone call.
You know what irritated me about that prank call? Call me a hater if you want to. But at the end, Shedeur has to drop his brand in there. Let's go be legendary. That actually like pissed me off.
I think it's not just you, but people make a big deal out of this legendary. It still is an adjective, you know. It's still an adjective. It's his brand because it's an adjective that he uses all the time.
I think it's the other way around. Placement is crazy, bro.
It's the other way around. It's the other way around. Because he would say legendary so much, they made a brand out of it. He's not dropping the brand. It's a word that he's used, and it happens to now.
But now it is. But now, right? Now,
I know.
You know what I mean?
It's a word that he's always used, and then they made a brand out of it. Whatever.
If I was the
he's not a giant. He's not a giant. He's not going to be a giant. He's gone. Whatever. It's over. I'm so tired of Shedeur Sanders.
Freaking love it, dude. Love it. God, I'm so glad we dodged that bullet.
I guess the ESPN broadcast is ahead of NFL Network, but unfortunately, I will not be flipping over to ESPN because their analysis this weekend, Alex, oh my God, it's been so bad.
Dude, Mel Kiper is insufferable.
He is, but JW's right. Rich Eisen has slowly been going insane. And honestly, I feel bad for Rich Eisen. And again, I think this is important context. I think this is what I say when you join the stream, Alex. Rich Eisen is very close friends with Deion Sanders. I watch a lot of the Rich Eisen show. He's been talking about Shedeur Sanders as a top 3 pick. He couldn't believe when the rumor started. He's like, get out of here. There's no way he's falling outside of the top 10. Last night, he was like visibly very frustrated and clearly emotionally hurt by Sanders falling down the board. And I get it because he's close with him. But I think that's important to note. A lot of these guys in the media are dumbfounded by this because they're close personal friends with Deion Sanders because Deion Sanders used to be an anchor on NFL Network. So you have to have that context. And I think a lot of people have forgotten about that. But Alex, related but unrelated, Deion Sanders is one of my favorite media personalities of all time. I will never forget this, and I will always appreciate him for this. When the Giants went on that playoff run in 2011-12, I mean, dude, I was a kid. I was obsessed with football as a kid. I would watch NFL Network every single day, and I would try and catch anytime Rich Eisen and Deion Sanders were on the show together. And they had this whole long-running thing throughout that season. Whenever Eli would make a comeback win, if you remember, he had like 7 of them that season out of the 9 wins the Giants had. Deion Sanders would always say this, I believe in Eli. He would say that after every Giants win, before the breakdowns. Like, he would always go, I believe in Eli. So I love Deion Sanders. Deion Sanders loves Eli. Deion Sanders loves the Giants. And as a result, we should love him too. And that's why
I have no problem with him. I have no problem with Deion Sanders. Deion's a character. He is entertaining. Like I do.
John remembers that. John remembers.
Yeah,
if anybody else remembers that was one of my favorite things.
I have no qualms with Deion. He was a phenomenal player. He's proved himself. He was a phenomenal coach. You know, he brought an organization back from the dead, basically 2 of them. And you know, you got to love that. So, you know, it is what it is. And Jimmy Spliff, how's that boot taste, you little piece of get banned, pussy. Anyway,
what happened? What just happened?
He said a mean word, so I had to ban him. Is what it is. I'll tell you what.
What time does it buy you? How much wine have you had?
Actually, I need a refill.
I knew it. Your behavior, I could tell. John,
just slowly
he remembers. That's why I like Deion too. Listen, Dude, Dion was the man back during that playoff run, bro. NFL Network, I'll say this. They always have a great group of characters on there. Like they mix in their cast members really well, and they always have guys who are very objective and very entertaining. Like when Dion was coming on, he's a Cowboy. You would think, oh, this Cowboys guy, maybe he's going to be more critical of the Giants. Like we watch Fox Sports sometimes, and who's that guy? Mark Schlurth, I think is his name. And he's always critical of the Giants, and everybody hates him. Dion coming on NFL Network as a former Cowboy legend didn't matter. Just an absolute fan of Eli Manning. Like, I don't know. NFL Network is the best. I think their broadcast is far superior to ESPN every single year.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, ESPN's become more so about like just ridiculous commentary, right? Like I'm baited. Like if you're gonna go the ESPN route, you got to do it like NBA, like TNT. You know what I mean? You got to do it with like Shaq, and you have to have fun with it. Like you got to bring in some guys to be actually like enjoyable to watch. Instead, they're just getting guys who glaze players. Like they just glaze players, or they hate players, and the analysis in this, there's no analysis. You know what I mean, Anthony? Like there's little analysis. There's just opinions. And if you want opinions and you want better analysis, you just come to Fireside Giants, obviously. Like if you watch NFL Network, you're at least getting some sort of professional opinion. You know what I mean? And you're still getting some personality. I don't watch ESPN, and I haven't in like probably a decade. I follow their draft board because it's easy to watch and stuff like that. But I don't watch ESPN stuff like that.
I prefer NFL Network. I prefer. I get the appeal to the Pat McAfee show, but it's not my cup of tea. I think Stephen A. Smith is the worst thing to ever happen to sports media because the guy is completely uneducated on nearly every sport, but screams really loudly about every sport, and that's why he's so popular, and I can't stand it. So I get the appeal, and I understand why people enjoy Stephen A. and those debate shows. Debate shows can be great, but they don't actually bring any analysis to the table oftentimes. Stephen A. doesn't know. He doesn't know a goddamn thing about the New York Giants. When he talks about the New York Giants, he just yells about the team's culture or something. I'm like, bro, what do you know about the Giants? Name me who their third string or sixth string wide receiver is. You can't. I can. That's why I'm going to listen to Fireside Giants. So I don't know. ESPN is like a mess to me. But NFL Network, they're solid. They've got great analysis over there.
I've literally watched Stephen A. Smith rant about things and the player not even be on the team anymore. You know what I mean? Like he literally just has these moments where you're like, brother, like what the hell are you talking about? The guy's not even on that team, or you're talking about a different player. Like it's like crazy. So of course, everybody knew Pat McAfee show was going to go downhill once he joined ESPN. Like anything that touches ESPN turns to PG bullshit, to be quite honest with you. And it's like, nobody cares. Like what made Pat McAfee so good was the fact that he was just volatile, crazy, and fun and exciting, and like whatever he wanted to do. And he just got muted by ESPN, and that's what Disney does to people. Disney just mutes you. So it's owned by Disney, so it's just
it is owned by Disney, but the TVMA rating is still on it. That's not what the issue is. I just never thought that show was that great, and we can't talk bad about Disney on this show.
Well, it's only because of Star Wars, I understand, but I do.
No, it's because Disney provides for my family.
Provides for your like Disney in terms of like you go to the Disney theme parks?
No, in terms of my sister works for Disney, which you absolutely
right. Sorry, I
cannot talk bad about Disney.
Okay. Disney no more ESPN. Yes, they've had their problems, but nonetheless,
you can criticize ESPN. Don't make it a Disney.
Okay,
Disney's a great company.
Fair enough. Okay, so where are we at right now? We're at 133. We've
got 20. We've got about 20 picks. Marcus MBOW is still on the board. I still think he's the top option for the Giants.
I mean, yeah, for sure. At what point do you think the Giants trade up, though, if they really liked him and he was still on the board?
Minnesota's picking at the top of round 5. If he's there at the top of round 5, I make the first pick of round 5. I do that.
Okay, so that's in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 picks. Yeah, I guess you don't have to give up as much. What do you need? What's it going to cost us to move up that?
A 7th and maybe a future 6th or something. I'll do it.
It's going
to cost like nothing. I don't know, like how much could that possibly cost to get up 10 12 11, picks?
12, 13, 14, so 15 picks. We'd have to go up.
It can't cost much, man. It can't.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe next year's 6th rounder. Maybe that's what it would cost. How about that Finnegan fella you talked about earlier?
Fallis Finnegan.
Fallis Finnegan, buddy, you've been traded for 15 picks in the 5th round. Oh, God. Is there anyone on our team even worth anything at this point? Like, like the depth pieces. Like, is there any depth pieces to even trade if we wanted to? Because you're not trading Kayvon. I mean, Jalen Hyatt, I would trade, but at this point, I don't think it's worth it. You're too far in the draft to really.
I think Devin Singletary is like the only tradable piece.
So Singletary is in a weird spot now, right? Singletary is in a weird spot now. What the hell is
on the block, dude? On the chopping block.
Yeah, I mean, we don't even save any money from cutting him. Is the problem? Eventually,
we do though. We do. We do post June 1st. We save money, and if we trade him post June 1st, if we designate post June 1st, we save $5 million.
You save $250K pre June 1st and post June 1st, but then you have to pay that bill next year. Do we really want to pay that next year?
Fine, I'll pay it.
Singletary, we only save 1.5 mil if you cut him post June 1st. Not even worth cutting him. You might as well just keep him and he's your
1.5 million. You can do something with that.
But like what? Like then you have to pay it next year. Like what's the point? Or it gets spread out, I guess. So he's only a 3-year deal, so it is just
opportunity to compete elsewhere. We're not going to use him. I would try and trade him. Try and trade him for a 6th-round pick if that's what it is. There's
so many good. There was so many starting running backs in this draft class. Like who the hell wants Devin Singletary? That was. Why did he not use gloves last year? By the way, the guy fumbled like 15 times. Like what the fuck, man?
He didn't wear gloves. Is that a thing?
Yeah, he didn't wear gloves last year and fumbled like mad times. Super strange. Let's see some contracts here. I'm looking through this. Brian Burns has a 30 mil cap hit next to Dexter Lawrence at a $23.6 million cap hit. What an absolute steal. Just guys, like if you look at his financial actual like value, he's probably worth like 35 mil per season. They have him at 23.6. Yep. I'll tell you one thing, Joe Shane, I've hated his guts at times, but he has done masterful work with these contracts. Masterful work for the most part. So I will give him credit where it is due. That is one place. Andrew Thomas at 21 million is also a very good deal despite the injuries.
Yep, great deal there too. But
Russ 11 mil is a good deal.
He's made his mistakes too. But
he's
doing a great job this offseason.
Plenty of them. I straight up would extend Jermaine Luminor if he plays well this year.
I am still waiting for them to extend Micah McFadden before he has 130 tackles this year and commands over 10 million on the open market. They should do it now.
He's gonna take Okerike's LB1 job most likely long term.
Yeah, you've got Okerike under contract through 2026. Get Micah McFadden through contract under contract through 2027 or longer, and then you're set up to have a starter who knows your defense.
Yeah, you're not.
Neil Unrealist with a super chat. Thank you so much. If the Giants go BPA in the 5th. Could be cornerback, Zach Frazier, 6'3". I could see them going cornerback. I know that they met with Kobe Bryant privately at the Combine, and I really like him. A lot of ball production, great ball skills, really good zone cover corner with a lot of competitiveness and physicality. I think he's still on the board. If he's there in the 5th, I would absolutely take Kansas cornerback Kobe Bryant. I'd be happy with that pick.
Yep, I don't mind cornerback depth at this point. Not at all. We don't have much of it, so it's really just Cordell Flott, I guess.
Yeah, not a ton of depth. But did you see this? This is something interesting that the Texans have done this year. They just did it a second time. So they drafted Jaden Higgins and Jalen Noel, both Iowa State receivers. They drafted them in the 2nd and 3rd round back-to-back. Now they just went ahead and drafted safety Jalen Smith and safety Woody Marks, both safeties out of USC. So they're like pairing guys up who've played together before. My thing is, obviously, I said I want Harris. This is the Texans have done this now. They've drafted 2 teammates, paired them back up. I think that this is something the Giants should do with Jackson Dart. Get him somebody in the building that he knows and that he's close with. Obviously, I wanted that to be Trey Harris. My new one is Caleb Prescorn. He's a tight end. I think the Giants can afford to add some depth there. I like Caleb Prescorn. If you saw that video, Alex, that went viral after the Giants drafted Jackson Dart, of him as Uncle Jax. Did you see that video? Baby?
No, I did not.
That was Caleb Prescorn's kid. And
interesting.
So he's very close with he's so close with Caleb Prescorn that Caleb Prescorn's kid calls Jackson Dart uncle. I think it would be really cool if they paired them back up, and whether they target him with their last pick in the 7th round or if he goes undrafted, which he might, make him a PFA, priority free agent. I would really love to see Caleb Prescorn team back up with Jackson Dart, get him a familiar face and a close friend in the locker room with him.
Yeah, I don't hate that. I always like adding some familiar faces to the mix. And yeah, there's some definitely interesting stuff. The Texans doing that. Maybe they wanted the chemistry. I know Jalen Royals just went to the Chiefs, and of course, Chiefs will make him a freaking star somehow. Joe Africano says 49ers drafted so many DLs this draft. They used 3 picks on the line. Yeah, they lost a lot though. Like they needed help there. They needed depth and some starting talent. Like their defense went from one of the best in football, arguably the best in football, to like just completely shredded. They lost so many players in free agency. Charvarius Ward being the kind of cornerstone they lost. Kind of crazy, but yeah, like so far in terms of people saying this is Joe's best draft so far. It should okay. So here's what I'll say about this, about like kind of Joe Shane's drafting. You should have good drafts every year when you're drafting in the top 5 most times. You know what I mean? Like you should be walking away with blue chip prospects for the most part. You should be walking away with some of the best players in the draft. Like you should be hitting on more draft picks than not when you're drafting at the top of every single round. So like that's kind of how I feel about that. But you still have to coach them up and actually apply them. So last year's draft class was excellent. This year's draft class, so far, love it. I really, really do. Really, really love it. So now we just have to see if Brian Dable and this coaching staff can actually make the most of this talent. There's talent on this roster, Anthony, and guys, there really is. We just have not seen them make the most of it at this point. It's unfortunate, but the coaching has been bad at times. Like that's really been the problem. The coaching has been bad, and it's been turned over so many times. Like how many times? Defensive line. I mean, Kayvon Thibodeau's gone through multiple schemes. Deontay Banks was thrown in the gutter with that.
The coaching's been bad at times, but I think the roster's been worse than the coaching over the last 3 years. That's me personally.
It's definitely been a good blend of both.
Just nothing's gone right for the Giants. I think we can chalk it up to that. But I'm not going to sit here and act like Joe Shane's done a better job than Brian Dable.
No, the first 2 drafts were horrible. The first 2 drafts were horrible. I was just saying last year was good. This year seemingly on paper is good. But I do think that
Raiders just passed on Shedeur again. They took Tonka Hemingway over Shedeur. This is crazy, dude. It's the end of round 4. He's not going to get drafted in round 4. He's a 5th round pick.
I think he's actually going UDFA. I think he's going to go undrafted.
I do too. I think he's going to get undrafted.
At this point, it's just no one wants to touch him. We've gotten to the point where it's so far that like no team is willing to be the guy that does it. You know what I mean?
NFL Network yesterday was talking about him going back to school. I don't think he's eligible because they were talking about him not having an agent, and he needed an agent or something. So I don't know. Yeah, they already retired his number. I mean, either way, dude, if he does go back to school,
have to imagine having to unretire your number.
Go to a new school. No, keep it retired there. Go to a new school. Compete elsewhere without your father. Like, go make it happen on your own. He has to do that.
He's just crazy, dude. I don't think I've ever seen something like this before. In terms of like a player dropping like this, I've never seen anything like it.
There's never been anything like it. It's unprecedented.
We're watching history right now, guys. This is crazy. And next year's okay. So like now I'm getting into the weeds of like 2026, and I'm just getting interested now. Free agents in 2026. Let's see.
Oh my God, this is what Shedeur Sanders said today on their live stream. He said, Dad was our agent, but that hasn't been working out too good. So today I had to sign with an agent.
That's hysterical.
That's what Shiloh said. I bet Shedeur probably signed with an agent too.
Shiloh's low-key really funny. He was like, after Shedeur dropped to the day 2, I see the video where he's like, damn, like you dropped the day 2. I don't even know what they're going to do to me.
Yeah, Shiloh is funny. Every time I see him post something, it makes me laugh.
That is really funny.
That's great. That's really good.
Wait, this is weird. All teams, all positions. Unrestricted. Wait, did Trey Smith get franchise tagged?
Yes.
Where did he go? Oh, he did. Okay, that's why that makes sense. I was so confused. Okay, the players in next year's free agency class. I'm just going to list them because it's interesting. We need some time to kill anyway. And just keep in mind, most of these guys are not going to be they're not going to be allowed to go to the free agent market. They're going to be tagged or extended. TJ Watt, right? Trey Smith, Terry McLaurin, Trey Hendrickson, which, by the way, Trey Hendrickson is awesome. Not a Giant, obviously, because we have so many pass rushers now, but I love Trey
Hendrickson. Is old and washed. I'm good. I don't want him.
Well, I don't know. I don't want him. I'm just saying he was excellent for a while. Mike Evans, Christian Kirk. I would take old Mike Evans next to Malik Neighbors.
Mike Evans ain't leaving Tampa Bay, bro. There's no way
Yeah,
he
I know.
retires
He's
anywhere
retiring
other than
there for
Tampa Bay.
sure. Christian Kirk is booty. Debo, Kelsey, Zach Allen, Cortland Sutton, George Kittle. Oh, love Georgie, but he's 33.
Majority of these guys are not hitting the open market, and if they
Yeah,
do, they're not
you're
going to be
right.
options for us.
No,
Kittle's
I
gonna
know.
resign. He was at voluntary workouts this week, so he's got an extension coming up.
Yeah, no,
Damn.
for sure. He's saying
That Stanford receiver, Alec Aominor, he just went off the
Titans.
board to the Titans. I thought they would take him at the top of round 4. They get him at the bottom of round 4. Fantastic selection for them. He has such a good release package. Like, he's a technical route runner. He's fast. He's a really good player.
Yeah. Next year, though, Braden Smith and Taylor Moton, both right tackles. Interesting. Jonah Williams also going to be available. Wyatt Teller. I remember when he was so good, and then he fell off hard.
I don't ever remember him being so good.
Early, like the first year, the Browns had like a sick offensive line. Remember that? It was a while ago, though.
Yeah, but he's all right. He's all right. Scataboo! No. Sorry.
At this point, I think you might have Tourette's. Scataboo Tourette's.
Yeah, it's just exclusive to Scataboo.
It's just exclusive to Scataboo. That's hilarious.
I'm getting antsy, bro.
Sean Slater.
I want to see our pick. I'm gonna start cursing and breaking things for fun. Should I just break
Loki
this
Elijah?
TV? Why not?
Dude, remember Trevor Penning going in the first round? Good God, he's so bad.
Trevor Penning.
Yeah, remember him?
Round.
The
What position
Saints.
did he play again?
Maybe he didn't. He was a second round. He's a tackle. We talked about him a while ago.
Yes,
years ago.
Yes. Dude, been a great many years. Yo, what if
There's a lot of guys.
What if the Patriots traded away Joe Milton? What if they take Shedeur?
What, just put him behind Drake May, who he'll never see the field?
Back up.
Dude, Shedeur's not. I actually like. I'm trying to figure out where at this point where he would even go. You know, like what teams need a quarterback now? I mean, the Raiders probably be a good place for him to stash, but they just passed on him again.
You know, I have an idea. Hold on. What about the defenders? What do you think about the defenders?
Bo's trying to make me laugh.
What do you think about
the defenders?
The DC defenders.
The New Jersey, what are they? The Guardians?
I think you could wind up with the DC defenders. Yo, that's showtime right there. I'm going to defenders games this year if they got prime.
Miami actually is not the worst.
Miami makes sense.
Yeah,
Miami could make sense.
Because, like,
I'll go to a Dolphins game for sure. That's close. I'll go right over there. I'll go there. I'll watch a game. Watch Shedeur Sanders cook my parlays and then try and win it back at the Hard Rock right across the street.
No, you just take all the unders and you're fine.
This will be the one game he hits the over. The one game.
Vikings.
That stadium's really nice though. The Dolphins Stadium. I love Hard Rock Stadium. I got to sit in the in Dan Marino's box last year when the Giants played the Dolphins. Not last year, the year before. That shit was beautiful, man. Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
You know, I just the thing is, if Shedeur goes to a city that's like nobody wants to play in, like Ohio or whatever, like it's like he goes to the Browns, like I feel like the Browns are scared he's gonna get bored, or like he's just gonna like he's gonna hate it there and like be depressed. You know what I mean? Like he wants to be in the big city kind of guy, you know, which I don't hate. I don't think it's a bad thing, but
I think the Jets make a lot of sense though. Like Lou Boogie saying it in the chat, the Jets do make sense because yeah, they have Justin Fields for the next couple of years, but I mean Justin Fields, he's going to be their starter for now, but is he the long-term solution? He's got to prove that. So you might as well add some competition in there, I think. I don't know. But then again, the Jets just got rid of the media circus with Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, Miami makes a lot of sense to me, actually.
The thing with Shedeur is that if you already thought he was going to bring a lot of attention with him, now that this has happened, how do you touch him? Because the amount of attention that you're going to receive for a freaking 6th-round pick is
that's why he's plummeting. That's why he's falling this far, because like any team that takes him now knows it's coming with ridiculous amounts of coverage. Like everyone's gonna ask him, like, why did you do this? Why did you do that? And then the team that drafts him has to answer the question, why did you draft him there? You know what I mean? So it's like,
and that's why I was joking, but low key, the UFL wants to make themselves become a legitimate league that gets paid attention to, they should be all over this, bro. They should be trying to get Shedeur to go to the UFL. Like, I'm not even kidding. I know it sounds like a joke, and yes, it was a joke at first, but from a UFL league business perspective, they need to start drawing some people in. They need to get like a guy who's going to get some asses in some seats. Shedeur would get some asses in some seats in the UFL. So I think we're just waiting to see if the UFL ever actually does acquire legitimate talent. I don't know. Maybe this presents an opportunity for them because right now they're just a farm system for like practice squad players in the NFL to compete and practice. Get a legitimate star in there and see what happens. And maybe it becomes a league that people give a shit about.
Maybe. And people asking like, what's funny about what's happening to Shedeur? What's happening to Shedeur is his own doing. You know what I mean? Like this, there's no other reason to say it.
Funny. Like, I don't think I feel bad for him. Like, legitimately,
I feel bad. I do. I feel bad for him. I feel bad for him because like it's almost like unreasonable how bad it's getting. But like this doesn't happen unless he literally went to these meetings and just did not care. And he thought that he was better than he was, and he did not give a shit about the process. Like he did not throw the combine.
He disrespected Brian Dable in that interview. So
what happened? Like, is there more information that's come out about that? Because I don't really know much about that.
No, I listened to the McShay clip several times, but what McShay said, to paraphrase, they gave him an install package, which is essentially a package and a playbook. Learn it, come back to the next meeting, be prepared to get these quiz answers right on the whiteboard, right? Like, remember we saw in the Hard Knocks episodes how they would quiz guys like Jaden Daniels, like, hey, what was that package that I liked? Go ahead and write it on the whiteboard. So like that, essentially, they gave the package to Shedeur. He did not read it. He did not prepare for it. So when they got there to quiz him, he basically just wasn't ready. And when he got called out on it, he didn't like being called out. And so him and Dable went a little back and forth. Like, essentially, it's like imagine you had an essay to do. That's what McShay was saying, was that what he said exactly, not exactly, but paraphrasing as closely as I can. McShay said that Dable called out Shedeur Sanders. Shedeur Sanders didn't like being called out, and Dable didn't appreciate him not liking that. So implying, the way I'm interpreting it, is there was some conflict and they went back and forth. So I don't know.
That's one way to
coach like that is pretty crazy.
Kill your draft stock.
Yeah, and
because Dable called up everyone.
Exactly.
It was like, this guy just completely disrespected me with us. Like,
if that was known by Todd McShay, if Todd McShay heard about that, you best believe somebody else found out about it in the NFL, and it spread like wildfire, and that's why he's not being drafted. That's what it is.
Absolutely. I'll tell you why, man. If that's the reason.
Dude, imagine you had a 7-page essay due midnight on a Friday night, and then you showed up on Monday, and they're like, where's your essay? And you're like, I'm not doing that. Okay, well, then you're getting an F, and you're failing. So that's exactly what it's equivalent to.
And I just don't like, the thing is, like, even as many flags as I saw with Sanders's game, I never thought that he would do something like that. You know what I mean? Like, I always thought he was a decently respectful guy. Like, I never thought he was a bad guy. I thought he was just confident. Yeah, I thought he was just confident. But if that's true, and it seems like that, the whole league thinks that's true because we're watching it happen in real time, that is a really big character concern.
This is true. Dave's is very well respected around the league. Like, I know that obviously we talk about him as Giants fans and we react and we get passionate. So sometimes we overreact and we talk about the fact that, he's gotten into fights with coaches or players in the past, whatever, and he's a real rah-rah guy. But you go read anything that any Bills player or Alabama player, any coach, what they have to say about him, he's only gotten glowing reviews everywhere he's been. People really respect Brian Dable. So if he was disrespected by Shedeur Sanders and he made that known in the league, it definitely spread and it definitely held a lot of weight.
Yeah, and it's kind of interesting, right? Because what did Dable do? He turned around and went after the guy that loved football more than anybody else in this class. You know what I mean? Like, he literally went the polar opposite direction.
Two of them, too. You're talking Dart
and
Scataboo.
Yeah, he went polar opposite. He was like, if that story is true and Sanders disrespected him in that room, he turned around and said, Joe, this dude just didn't do the work we gave him to do, and then he disrespected me when I called him out on it. We are going the exact opposite direction, going to get the guy that not only was he prepared, but he was just a great dude, great interview all around. And I think Cam Ward would have been the same way if he even did the private workouts. He just didn't even have to do them because he was going first overall.
Yeah. The one thing that I want to counter this whole thing with, I'm not trying to twist this and put the Giants in a bad light or anything, but the fact that this story got out is kind of bad, right? Like, can we agree with
Dude,
that?
the Giants
There's
have
no way that
really
this
bad
information
leaks.
should be public. The fact
The
that Gable
Giants
and
have
Shedeur had
bad
some sort of
leaks.
argument should not be public information.
Oh
That is a bad
no.
leak, in my opinion. I'm very
What
confused how this got out publicly.
there is a really bad problem within the Giants organization where everything that they want to do is the whole public knows within 24 hours.
Monday
Jackson
morning, we
Dart
knew
being
that they
traded
were
up
trying to
for.
trade up for Jackson Dart.
We
Happened
knew they
on
were taking
Thursday.
Abdul Carter. Like they cannot hide a single thing that they want to do. A single thing.
Yeah, they've got a problem.
Free agency was at least somewhat like unsure. I did not know what was going to happen. We didn't really see them connected to Paulson Adebo that much, nor Javon Holland. Like free agency, they did well, but which tells me that it's probably some sort of scout problem, because I mean, like in free agency, like it's got to be someone that was doing scouting on these players, or somebody that's in these rooms for the draft picks specifically is releasing information that is privy to it, right? Because free agency, like I imagine there's a different process happening there. Different scouts, different regional scouts, maybe NFL like scouts, not the collegiate scouts, like someone in the college realm of the Giants organization is literally just fire hosing information to the public. Very weird.
No, you're right, because I didn't have any inkling of what they were going to do in free agency. In fact, what we heard was that they were going to spend big at guard and wide receiver too. What are the two positions they didn't address, Alex? Guard and wide receiver too. They addressed everything else.
Mm-hmm.
So we thought that they were going to go all in on DJ Reed and Travarius Ward. They didn't. I don't even think they had meetings with those guys. I don't even think they spoke to them. I think they just went right after Paulson and Adebo. So you're right. They did a great job keeping all that under wraps. But when it's draft season, somehow we hear everything. So there's got to be a scout. I agree with you. I think there's a scout in there who is the rat, and we got to put a mousetrap in that building.
I think I know who it is, and it's not a scout. It's that son of a gun, Tim McDonald. Just kidding. I don't know.
Actually, I know someone who knows Chris Mara, and I've heard Chris Mara does a lot of talking.
Chris Mara.
He's in the front office as well. And I don't want to actually bring this up.
Okay, so I'll say this. There's a leak, and nobody in the Giants is willing to stop it from happening, because it's been happening for like a decade now. Like the Giants have been leaking information in the draft specifically for literally a decade. And
Gettleman was really bad because Gettleman would leak his own shit. He would basically, when he would talk about Saquon Barkley, like as if he was God's gift to earth before he drafted Saquon Barkley. But that was Gettleman. But the fact, I agree with you, the fact that it's still a problem post Gettleman, what's going on here?
Yeah, I'm not so sure about that. I don't know.
You're going to have to solo it again for another minute. I'll be right back.
Okay, you're going to have to solo it for the minute. All right, guys. Well, just me. And we're getting close to the 154th overall pick here. Oh my God. Is that the guy that's 400 pounds? No. Okay. I thought the guy from Florida just wanted a defensive tackle. I thought I was that 400-pound behemoth, but I think he's probably going to be a UDFA. Just unbelievable size and girth on that man. Imagine Joe Shane's son was the guy that leaked. Pat Leonard is the mole. I don't think Pat Leonard knows enough to be the mole. Like someone's got to be leaking it to Pat Leonard. Joe Shane's 12-year-old son being it would just be absolutely hysterical, though. I think it has to be some sort of scout, like collegiate scout. It has to be, or one of the Mara family members, because they can't fire this guy. Clearly, they have to know who it is, and they literally cannot fire this guy. Kind of crazy, because there's no way the whole league knew that they were trading up for Jackson Dart like 3 days before the draft. And why would the Giants want that to happen? You know, unless they were throwing it out there to try and throw people off the scent of what they were actually trying to do, because people still thought they would possibly take Shedeur at 3. I don't know. Does it help or hurt the Giants? That's the question, Sinister Soup. Does it hurt or help the Giants to leak this information? And for asking MBOW or Frazier, I like both of those guys. I mean, MBOW, obviously, he's a superb athlete. If he catches on at right guard, he can pull out on the outside zone blocks. He's really good at getting to the second level. He's not the strongest guy in the world, but I do think like if he could add a little bit more mass, he could be a really, really good interior right guard. And Frazier is more recently experienced at right guard, solid player, good upside. I mean, either of those two guys, I think I'm fine with. The one difference being, Frazier at LSU played better competition, whereas, MBOW, I do think, at Purdue, it definitely doesn't have the best competitors on his belt, but I wonder why he's slipping. So there's got to be some reason that he's slipping as far as he actually is. So this is definitely interesting at this point in time, to say the least. I'm not sure what happens now, but there's some really good talent still on the board here in the 5th round. And the Giants don't have a 6th round pick, obviously. So, we'll have to see what the 2 picks are in the 7th. But let's see the BPA right now.
All right, a couple things that I got to say, since you said a whole bunch while I was away. First of all, you did not just call that man girthy. Get out of here, Alex. Anyway, I prefer.
You're the
Marcus
girth
MBOW.
king, bro. All you'd say is girth. Guys are girthy. That's all you say.
I never want to hear a man call me the girth king ever again in my life.
Really? I thought that's kind of a compliment.
Not from you. Not one that I want to hear from you. Anyway, the other thing that I was going to say, Marcus MBOW is my preference between those two guys, because I heard you giving like kind of some takes between him and Frazier. I prefer MBOW, and I think this is a pretty good talking point that we haven't mentioned yet. His right guard / right tackle flexibility, I think, is to the benefit, because I think the Giants still don't have a long-term solution at right tackle, and Jermaine Illuminor is a right guard and right tackle. You can mix those two in. So I really like that. I like the fact that you can basically draft MBOW, him and Jermaine Illuminor, and Evan Neal as well. They all just kind of compete in this bubble. They all compete in this bubble. And whoever is the best man at each position takes the job. That's how I want it to be.
I'm fine with that. Because Jermaine Illuminor, the thing is, I think he wants to play right tackle because of the financial gain if he plays a good season. But I do think he's a team player, and I think he'd play right guard if he was asked to. And I think he'd do it at a really damn good level too. So I don't hate that. And Ryan, Ryan gets it.
We knew that about you, Ryan. We knew that.
Yeah, this is not new news. This is nothing new. Is that a Diet Coke?
It is a Diet Coke. Grab that on my bathroom break.
This was getting freaking drinks. You could have at least offered to allow me get a refill of my vino, but
at any point you could have said, "Hey, I'll be right back," and you could have poured yourself a cup. I'm not stopping you. I would never stop you from that.
I promise I already polished off the bottle, so I don't think I want to open another one.
I think you should. It's a Saturday night, brother. What else are you going to do?
Oh, true. It is a Saturday night. I guess it's a Saturday afternoon for you, but it's a Saturday night for me.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Yeah, that's true.
As I pour a Diet Coke.
Actually, I don't think I've ever had a Diet Coke. Is that crazy?
That is kind of crazy. I drink a lot of Diet Coke. I love Diet Coke. 0 calories. So I don't drink too much of it, though, because the aspartame, and I'm trying to keep my brain in shape. But,
What's the link there? What does aspartame do to your brain?
Well, if you have a lot of Diet Coke, aspartame can it's imbalance as a chemical in your brain. So you could have some sort of what's it called? Alzheimer's risk in the future, but you have to drink like a lot of Diet Coke for that to be a thing. And I only have like, a couple here and there. So no sugar. I try and keep my sugar down. So that's
can we strategically get Alzheimer for when the Giants have bad years? Just drink more Diet Coke those years.
More Diet Coke. I don't want to
10 Diet Cokes a day. You won't remember a fucking thing on Sundays, baby.
Remember when we saw that one guy just buy all of do you know what I'm talking about? The pillowcase at that grocery store in New York City. Do you remember this?
When a pillowcase?
You said the funniest things to me. I had tears in my eyes. This is like one of the few times we've actually met up and hung out in person. But what you said to me, I will never forget this. We were waiting in line for like a good 7 minutes because this guy in front of us, just a tank, hairy back, big behemoth of a man, walks up to the counter with his cart and a pillowcase. He puts the pillowcase down on the counter and unloads his cart. And there had to have been 10 to 12 liter bottles of Coke. And he was checking out. And you turned to me. You said, "My God, this man just bought diabetes off the shelf." And I was fucking crying. That is one of the funniest things anybody's ever said to me. Oh my God. That'd have been what, 2020? It was a long time ago.
Yeah, had to be. People in New York City are absolutely shameless. Like, and I just remember the guy. I remember the guy now because the tank top and the hairy back, and he was like this just fucking the absolute just Neanderthal of a man. That's crazy.
Anyway, there was a big trade here with the New York Giants. Not the New York Giants. I'm sorry, not the New York Giants. In the NFL, the Minnesota Vikings just acquired Sam Howell from the Seattle Seahawks.
We call that, is that a big trade or is that just a trade?
Yeah, all right. Jordan Rannon says guard Jackson Slater from Sacramento State is a name to keep an eye on as the Giants get to the 5th round here. So sounds like they're probably going to go offensive line. Sounds like maybe it's not going to be MBOW.
Sacramento State. What the hell? Oh, I see. Okay, so he's the 5th guard on the board right now. This is a Carmen Brasillo guy if I've ever seen one. 42 games at left guard and 2 games at left tackle. Tied for the 2nd most reps on the bench for offensive lineman out of the combine. Oh, he's a strong guy. That strength shows up on tape as he knocks defenders off balance into the ground with a violent punch. I love violence. He plays the good base. You know, maybe we should take a playbook, a page out of the Baltimore Ravens playbook and get a violent fella. Let's see what else we can. He plays the good base.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Again, Tourette's is back. All right. He moves his feet and is tough to shed once he latches on with big hands. Slater fires off the ball, drives his legs, and gets movement as a run blocker. He ran well at the combine, and he moves well when he pulls. He overpowers defenders in space. He improves his draft stock with performance during his week at the Senior Bowl. Another Senior Bowl guy.
Giants love their Senior Bowl guys. They like guys with experience.
Yo, that's crazy.
Jordan Phillips out of Maryland to the Miami Dolphins. Interesting. One of my friends just texted me Shedeur watch. Is Shedeur getting picked? Does this just happen?
Why would he know?
I don't know. That's what I'm wondering. Why would my friend know? Don't disrespect Bears, Max.
I didn't disrespect him, but why would he know where Shedeur Sanders is
going? Because the Browns just traded up. That's the speculation now.
Imagine they traded up. I really want to see. Too. I'm so Browns now.
They just took Dylan Gabriel, though.
I mean, at this point,
oh my God, he's here.
Imagine it actually was. My story would be legendary.
Perfect timing.
Your Apple Watch is supposed to make him feel legendary.
Apple Watch, bro?
No, it's great. How's your heart rate?
I have a very healthy heart rate. It's in the 50s.
After all that Diet Coke too.
I think it's like an average of 56. Pretty good.
Not bad. Not bad at all. What are the Browns going to do? Where are the Browns picking now then?
144.
Oh. Who's it going to be? Dude, if they traded up
hold on. Shedeur is giving us an inside scoop. Shedeur is saying that the Giants told him that he'll be taken in the 7th round. 7th round, go Big Blue. All right, we'll see.
Giants, imagine the Giants.
Shedeur Sanders, you heard it here first. Shedeur Sanders, quote, "I am coming," end quote.
Interesting.
Neon Realist, thank you so much for the super chat. A few people high on guard Jackson Slater as a starter. Listen, if he's the pick here in the 5th round, I'll be excited about that. I think we need some trench out. We need some guards.
I do too.
And Shedeur, let him slide in this podcast. Shedeur, hop on.
Oh my goodness gracious! What are the Browns up to? What are they going to do if they traded up just to not
spoil
drop
it? Don't spoil it because I want to see it on the TV. If it's
I haven't seen anything yet. Oh, so apparently good news is supposed to be coming soon, according to Shedeur. That was 30 minutes ago, though. It's been a minute. Oh.
Guys lurking on Twitter, you're about to spoil everything, man.
I haven't said nothing.
Oh, cool. Hold on. I got something exciting for us. Ready? Shedeur paid the frat boys to prank him for views, apparently. That's crazy. It's a bad look, Shedeur.
Jeffrey, you need to simmer down, good sir. I know we're about to get the news everyone's been waiting for. What better place for Shedeur Sanders to go?
Ooh, we got new graphics. Pretty cool. Shout out Danny.
Oh, nice. How? Okay, so now that it's in the chat, can I please say it now?
Yeah, I saw it. It's cool.
Shedeur Sanders has now been placed in purgatory for the rest of his life. The freaking Cleveland Browns, where everyone goes to die. Everyone. No one survives the Cleveland Browns. Nobody. There's not a single
This would have been a lot cooler if they didn't trade down, and if they actually took Travis Hunter. This would be way cooler. Fucking idiots. Why would they do that, man?
So dumb, dude.
How do you trade down? Just imagine being the team that traded away Travis Hunter.
Like I said, I got to go back to my 3-day-long party. That's crazy.
Well, hey, let the party really begin now. The party really begins now.
Oh my goodness gracious, that's crazy.
Shedeur Sanders is a 5th-round pick. That's so funny.
Oh my God, wow.
I can't believe it. It's just insane to me how this fall happened. But hey, man, Shedeur to me was the 2nd-best quarterback in this class. I think he's a very good player. Obviously, there's a lot of concerns from teams, but I don't know, man. This could be Kevin Stefanski coaching him is a great situation for him. I'm very happy for Shedeur.
Yup. I mean, I don't know, man. Very, very strange draft. That's crazy. Of all places, he was like, you know what? At this point, in the 5th round, maybe I'll go to New Orleans. Maybe I'll go to Vegas or New York. You know, maybe I'll. Nope, you're going to Ohio, buddy. Sucks, dude.
Dylan Gabriel sucks. And Shedeur is a very weird quarterback room.
I mean, at that point, they were like, we might as well just have him compete. You know what I mean? Like, why pigeonhole ourselves into Gabriel when we could just have this guy compete? Crazy situation. Wow. 5th round. Whoa. Unbelievable. But guys, I have to dip for a couple minutes. I'll be right back for the Giants selection, which probably be in about 25 minutes, I'd say, Anthony. That sounds about right. Maybe less. It's kind of flying right now.
Yeah, it'll be way sooner than that.
All right. So I'll be back in a couple minutes then, but I shall return.
Sounds good. Go get your wine, brother.
Bye.
All right. You guys are stuck with just me for now. Alex will be back shortly. Well, how are you guys feeling about this? Shedeur Sanders to the Cleveland Browns. You guys like it? Pick 144. Shedeur is not happy about it. So now the Cleveland Browns room is Joe Flacco, Shedeur Sanders, and Dylan Gabriel. Super Bowl bound? I do agree with this, though. I think he's got a chance. This is open season, right? Like, this is an open competition between Shedeur, Gabriel, and Flacco. Let the best man win. And if I'm being honest, I think Shedeur wins that job. I think Shedeur is going to be the starter for the Browns this year. Am I crazy? Am I crazy for saying that? Is this not like an absolute massive draft steal for the Browns? I think Shedeur is going to be the starting quarterback of the Cleveland Browns, man. Wow. Yeah, right? Like, if you were gonna draft Shedeur, man, you should have taken Travis. Imagine those two playing together. Sheesh, man, that would have been awesome. Wow. All right, this chat is going crazy today. Yeah, and all the money that they have for Deshaun Watson. But he won't play this year. He re-ruptured his Achilles. One of the steals of the draft, in my opinion. I don't know, man. Listen, I'm happy with the Jackson Dart pick, and I don't want to make this a Giants thing, but I do think Shedeur Sanders was a good player, worthy of being taken at the end of the first round. And the fact that he just went in the 5th to the Browns, I think that might be a steal. Very interesting. I agree with this. Deshaun Watson's days in Cleveland are over. Marcus MBOW still sliding down the board. Wonder if he's the pick for the Giants. This is hilarious to me. This is fantastic. I'm so glad that you mentioned that. Yes, please. Can we move on? Shedeur's got a chip on his shoulder, ready to go. I'm rooting for you, Shedeur. I am definitely rooting for Shedeur Sanders. This is crazy, though. Shedeur is a 5th-round pick. Anybody have that bet? Anybody saw that one coming? Absolute steal in the 5th round. Yeah, right? Some of the best content was Alex and I fighting one another. And now we don't have any Sanders to fight about, but don't worry. The two of us will find reasons to fight. This is so Browns. You're absolutely right. I think Shedeur Sanders is going to win that job in training camp. I think he's going to be the starter this year. Shedeur with a chip on his shoulder coming out of the 5th round and stepping into a situation where he has an opportunity to win a starting job with the Cleveland Browns. He's going to be the week 1 starter. Is my fire alarm chirping? Have you guys heard any fire alarms? I haven't heard anything. I got the noise cancellation on these headphones to help me focus, so I can't hear anything. Let me know if I've had some chirping. My bad if I have. There was a good question here. Where is it? So in my opinion, you can't have enough depth in the quarterback room, right? Like there's no such thing as too much talent in the pass rush. I've said that before. There's no such thing as too much talent in your quarterback room. Once you've got 3 guys, you don't need to add any more. But now the Browns have 3 guys. They've got Shedeur, they've got Gabriel, and they've got Joe Flacco. Let them all compete. I like it. Yeah, they should have taken Hunter. I agree, guys. All right, you know what, Neo? I think you're pranking me. I don't hear any low battery chirp. I'm being pranked. You hear my TV? Is the TV too loud? I'll lower it. My bad, guys. I forgot they had Kenny Pickett. Totally forgot about Kenny Pickett. Guys, am I being pranked? Somebody else needs to let me know if there is a chirping going on. I can't tell if Neo Unrealist is messing with me. Because I don't hear anything. All right, well, the Giants pick is coming up soon. Dude, you kind of scared me, Nick. Chill. Almost made me look over my shoulder. Sinister Soup asking, curious about your thoughts on Darius Alexander being older. There is a Sanders behind it. Would you guys stop? Do you like the fact he's more physically developed, or would you prefer a young, more moldable guy? I actually think, it's the Lord calling you home. You guys are too funny in the chat. I like the fact that he's older because the Giants, I don't think, needed a more developmental, moldable guy on the defensive line. I think they needed a guy who could step in and compete this season, like a day one starter on the defensive line. And I think that Darius Alexander can start on the defensive line day one. So I'm not concerned about him being older. In fact, I welcome it. He's experienced, he's big boned, and he's ready to compete right now. And that's what I want. I still want Marcus MBOW, but there's something fishy about him falling this far down the draft board. And so I'm wondering if he is actually got some sort of red flag that we don't know about. So maybe it won't be him. But I think he's a really good player. He's definitely talented enough to be selected in the 5th. Did I hear a chirp? Is it in my head now? Are you guys in my head? Or did I hear a chirp? I think I heard a chirp. You guys got to chill. I can't tell what's real, what's fake. Sam Fountain, thank you so much for the super chat. Saying, Tony, what is the rookie scale difference between 25th pick and 145th? Massive. I mean, you're talking millions versus hundreds of thousands in terms of salary for a first-round pick versus a fifth-round pick. So it's an absolute steal of a contract as well for the Browns. Oh, man, there really is a chirp. It's not in this room. It's somewhere else in the house. Damn. I can't do anything about it right now. We got a stream to run. Oh my God, I heard it. Yeah, there is a smoke. You are right. I got to get Alex back in here so I can go run and fix that. Nah, they're not BSing. I heard it this time. Wow, it's crazy. But again, Sam, thank you so much for the super chat. It's first-round picks make millions and fifth-round picks make hundreds of thousands. So it's a big difference in salary cap space for the Browns, that's for sure. Draft a Hall of Famer, Kobe Bryant. I like that. I think he's definitely on the board here. Nothing in the Diet Coke, man. I cracked it on stream. Just a fresh, brand new Diet Coke. I'm saving the beers for later. It's a little early for me right now at 2:30. I mean, it's never too early. You know, it's always 5 o'clock somewhere. I get that that mindset. But, however, I'm going golfing later, and I want to have a fresh mind. So, got to be able to hit the course. It might be. It could be the alarm. It could absolutely be Tim McDonald trying to get in here. Nah, it's not too early. I've just got to be ready for golf later. Also, the Zach and Zach show. Shout out Chris Crides. Disappointing season, but hopefully he bounces back. Ty Hamilton, Ohio State defensive tackle to the Rams, is a good pick here in the 5th. You're damn right, Sinister Soup. I will ignore fire alarm. I will risk my life to finish the stream. My ass ain't moving until the Giants make this pick. So, house burns down, it burns down. I think offensive line is going to be the move. I'm looking at the board right now. I'll share my screen here. We can look at the draft board together. Why not? Let's do it. It is Fireside Giants. We're feeling the fire. Here's NFL.com's top prospects available. Marcus MBOW, again, still sitting there up at the top, and I really like him in the 5th if he ends up being the selection. Isaiah Bond, if they want to go receiver. Speedy wideout, too. Interesting. Isaiah Bond, what was his 40 time? Isaiah Bond ran a 4.39. So if the Giants want to add some speed to their offense again, Isaiah Bond could be a pick. Kobe King, linebacker out of Penn State, could be interesting. Team him back up with Abdul Carter if they want to add some linebacker depth. Yeah, fair enough. I think it's going to be offensive line. The Giants really do need to add more to the trenches, and they haven't yet. So here's some of the tackles that are available. But I think the Giants are going to look more for a guard. I need Alex to get back in here so I can go fix that fire alarm because it's starting to bother me now. I think the fact that Marcus MBOW and Miles Frazier are still on the board tells you the Giants are probably going to go with a guard. Although I do think Jackson Slater has some buzz to the Giants. He could be a pick as well. But I'm going to predict that one of those 3 guys is going to be the pick for the New York Giants. Let's see. NATO, appreciate you with the super chat, my friend. How many sacks do you think the Giants will have this season? 60 or more. And if they have anything less, we should condemn them because this defensive line should have no excuses. Like, we should be looking at double-digit sacks from Burns, Lawrence, and Carter. That's 30 right there. Thibodeau really even too. So, like, there's those 4 players combined should combine for at least 40 sacks, probably more like 50. And then, obviously, you've got other guys who are going to get sacks inevitably here and there. So, at least 60. I'm serious about that. And I know that's a really high number. That would be among the top in the NFL last season, but we need 60 sacks. It is kind of insane. It is insane the way that the coverage has gone here. Scataboom! Scataboo! I love it, man. Just so you guys have a little bit of insight into the future of Fireside Giants, we are planning on doing live streams during games this season. Not every game, but certain specific games. I'm going to do some of those live play-by-play watch-alongs. Is that something you guys are excited for? I know that we've had some interest in that in the past. Some of you have asked for us to do that. I'm telling you right now, I am planning on live streaming during New York Giants games this season. So let me know if you're excited for that, if you're looking forward to it. But also, I say that to say, when Scataboo has a big touchdown, you can expect to see me. Scataboo! It's going to be a lot of fun. So, yeah, game live streams on the horizon. We haven't done that before. We've done it once. I live streamed during a preseason game. Not even last year, but the year prior, I think it was. So it was a while ago. But it's something you guys have asked for, and I'm excited to announce that we are officially going to be doing that this season. So you'll catch some game live streams here on Fireside Giants. Not every week, but certain weeks. And we'll let you know ahead of time before it happens. So super excited for that, man. Super excited. A soundboard would be fun. Yeah. Press a button. Scataboo! Scataboo! That'd be great. I should do that. Will Howard would be a great backup, but for the Giants, I just don't think it happens. They've already got 3 quarterbacks on this roster, plus Tom DeVito is going to be the practice squad guy. So I don't think it happens, but I think Will Howard's a really good player, and I think he's got an NFL future ahead of him. Yes, sir. We'll get you guys together. Appreciate all the love that we're seeing. People are hyped. Yes, sir. We will do it. We will be doing it. Don't worry. Yeah, right? Like, this would be fun. This would be a lot of fun to watch. Me swearing, too, because I'm known to act a little crazy here and there. I'm known to be a little passionate on game days, that's for sure. Eli wants Tez Johnson to the Giants. Eli, nice profile picture of Danny Pennies crying in the rain. This is who I want, guys. I want Marcus MBOW. This would be my selection. I mean, he was projected to go round 3 or 4. We're in round 5. It's definitely a fall. I just like that he has guard tackle flexibility. I think that's valuable for the Giants to have versatility on the line and to allow these guys to mix and match and compete at several positions together. I'm excited for the game live streams, though, man. That's going to be a lot of fun. Super excited for that. I'm happy you guys are excited, too. I really don't know why MBOW is still available. And I do wonder if there is some sort of a red flag that he might have that we don't know about as fans. But we'll find out. I'm going to try and search that right now and see if there's any particular reason that he's falling. Yeah, Lou Boogie, you make a good point. I think the Giants, if they drafted MBOW, he could potentially play Evan Neal out of town. You're not wrong about that. Fireplace, this is what I'm searching for right now. I'm trying to find out if there is a reason that he's falling down the board. I don't know. There has to be a reason that he's sliding. I'm trying to do some research on it now, and I'm not finding anything. I'm not seeing anything yet. I'm so confused. Yeah, Zeke, I know that he does have short arms, but I'm looking at him as a guard with tackle flexibility, not a tackle with guard flexibility. So if he could be a good guard, we need a good guard. I promised on Twitter that I'll do a backflip if the Giants land Marcus MBOW. And I don't know how to do a backflip, nor am I athletic enough to do one, but I will learn if we do land him. I'll make that promise. I'm going to do a backflip. I'll do 2 of them, 2 backflips if we land him in the 5th round. Oh, hey, Joseph, what's up? My reaction to Cam Scataboo is SKATTEBO! I love it. Great pick. I'm super excited about it. I've been doing that over and over for the last 2 hours. It's been a great time. I'm having a blast, and I think it was a super fantastic selection for the Giants. Very athletic, or not athletic, very dynamic. He's not athletic, and that's my only shortcoming for him. But he's very dynamic. He's a great receiver out of the backfield, and he runs with some freaking power, and he loves football. So I'm very excited about Cam Scataboo. Dallas did jump in front of us to get Shamar James, Florida linebacker. Didn't take a lineman, so we've got one team in front of us, the Cincinnati Bengals, and then we pick. So we're almost there. Giants are on the clock. Yeah, that game was fantastic, that performance. Really exciting. If you want to be convinced about Cam Scataboo, guys, go watch the Texas game. He basically single-handedly carried ASU. So I'm going to close the chat now since we are on the clock, and I'll live react to this. Dallas's pick is in. Cincinnati, I think, has already made their pick. So once the Giants pick is announced, I will live react with you guys. Unfortunately, I could see Cincinnati going offensive line and raining on our parade here, but we'll see very soon. We will see. Bengals pick is in. We are on the clock. I'm excited to find out. I really hope it's Marcus MBOW, man. Like, this is a guy. I'll do this. Hold on. Let me stop sharing my screen. We're not even using that. My bad, guys. Ready? Hold on. You got to check this out. I wrote this article. This is how you know I'm high on Marcus MBOW. This was on January 27th. I wrote the article about why the Giants should target Marcus MBOW. So in round 3. So if we get him in round 5, I will be thrilled. And hey, guys, surprise! He's back. Hold on. All right, now we're in the right order. Alex, I closed the chat. We're not looking at the chat right now.
Okay.
So we can blind.
I can still see
live react. We'll close it.
Okay.
I don't need to close
how do I do that? How do I do that? I got it. Okay, closed it.
Yeah.
Closed it. Yep, got it.
Because we're going to live react to the pick. I don't know if you have NFL Network or anything pulled up, but I will play the TV loud enough. You're going to hear it. So we're going to react to it.
I'm listening. I can't hear it.
Well, I haven't. It's a commercial. You want to hear?
Okay.
You want to hear the Dick's Sporting Goods commercial? Is that what you're clamoring for?
I mean, I guess it's in line with the girthy comments tonight. So there's that.
Get out of here, bro. Also, after the Giants make the pick, you're gonna have to hold it down solo for a second because it was pointed out to me that my fire alarm keeps beeping. Neo Unrealist in the chat told me
because
about
Joe
that,
Shane
and
is
now I hear
cooking,
it.
dude. It's because Joe's cooking.
Yeah, that's how you know it's
This is
Fireside
why-
Giants. My house is on fire, and I don't care. I'm just still sitting here talking Giants.
That's how committed you are to the game, dude.
I don't think anybody can doubt my commitment to this community and Fireside Giants channel.
This dude's like this guy's probably recorded more live streams in the last 3 days than slept hours. So
Maybe, arguably,
maybe.
arguably. I mean, Thursday night it was a 4.5 hour live stream. So, and I don't trade any of that for the world. I have so much fun doing these long live streams. It's the best. Like, I love draft season. This is the best for me. I love this.
Yeah.
We might just start doing
breathes
random
draft.
4-hour live streams for no reason. I might just start, Alex, I'm serious about this. I might just start getting bored and just hopping on when I'm like really bored one day and just sit here for like 4 hours and talk Giants, because why not?
Well, I mean, if you want to do that, just do live streams during the games. I'm sure everyone would love to see game live
It's
streams.
so funny, Alex. You missed this. I announced to the chat like 10 minutes ago that I'm going to be doing that this season.
Dude, I'm telling you, I think I just like, it's like telepathy.
Yeah, I announced it to the chat, and everybody's hyped. Everybody's really excited for it.
I'll tell you one
And
thing.
They do want you to appear for a few of them because they really want to hear you curse about the referees. That was something specifically mentioned.
That is one I didn't think I'd hear, but I absolutely can do that. I love curse. Honestly, watching games.
Oh! They didn't even announce the pick with audio, but I love the pick.
What is it? I didn't hear it.
Take a guess.
Is it Marcus MBOW?
Marcus MBOW, baby. Great pick, New York Giants. What a steal in the 5th round. I would have taken him in the freaking 3rd.
Trey Smith vibes once again.
What a pick. Yes. Oh, my God. I love this draft class.
Let's freaking go, man. Wow, what a draft the Giants are having right now. Marcus MBOW in the 5th round.
NFL Network just sold because they didn't even announce the pick. It just flashed across the bottom of the screen. But hopefully my reaction made up for it. Let's go.
Let's freaking go, man. What an absolute draft the Giants are having right now. Holy mother of goodness. Knocking it out of the freaking park. Knocking it out of the freaking park. Wow. And Bao is a very, very, very solid selection, my friends. Very, very solid. And in the 5th round, wow. Just how lucky are we getting right now, man? Wow. Incredible. I guess I got to tweet about it. Hold on. Looks like you're tweeting about it right now.
I'm tweeting right now. You're going to like my tweet. Alex, you got to check this out. Actually, I'll show it on the... I think you guys are going to laugh at this because we were talking about the fact that I don't know how to do a backflip, but I'm going to have to learn now. I am going to have to learn. Sam Fountain, thank you for the super chat saying, my guy Joe really does listen in on Fireside Giants. Seriously, how long have we been talking about Marcus MBOW on this channel? And now he's a New York Giant. Let's go! Man, I'm hyped up today.
Dude, Cam Scataboo. I thought they were going to go Marcus MBOW in the 4th round. Getting him in the 5th, geez, Louise. I mean, this is what I'm saying, though. Like,
3rd, I thought Alexander
this is making
be an
me
option in the 2nd. And hey, you know what I'm going to say, Alex? This is BPA. This is what it looks like. You sit and you wait. If the Giants wanted to take Marcus MBOW because he was an offensive lineman in the 4th, it would have been a reach because here you are on the 5th and you got him. You just take the best player available. That happened to be Cam Scataboo. Now it happens to be Marcus MBOW. You go BPA, it works out. This is how NFL teams are built.
Dude, I mean, this is giving me major Trey Smith vibes, to be honest with you. And this is, if the Eagles made this pick, we'd be like freaking pissed right now. Why do the Eagles always end up getting these really good players late in the draft? How do they always end up falling to them? The Giants just got one of those guys. The Giants just got one of those guys that fell for whatever reason and ended up being picked. Like, we finally did it. We finally broke the curse. We finally broke the streak of taking for need. We got a guy that should never have fell this far. Wow. Gotta say, just excellent. Love to see it. Phenomenal. So excited. So now what happens? I guess they're gonna. I mean, where are we picking the 7th so far from now?
Yeah, we don't pick in the 6th, so we're done until the 7th round. Very long time from now. And great call out from Jeffrey here. All top 30 visits that the New York Giants have selected so far.
What did I say before the draft started? There is literally no better indication of who the Giants are going to draft than their top 30 visits. Like, if you want to know who they're going to draft, they literally tell you in their top 30 visits every single year.
Well, that's why I wrote that article, and that's why we did that video. We did the mock draft based on top 30 visits. This is what the New York Giants draft plan could look like based on their 30 visits. Go look at it. It's like spot on right now. Looks great.
Yep.
I absolutely nailed that one. I'm proud of that because I was so proud when I wrote that article and did that research. Fantastic.
Give me LeJohntay in the 7th. Lord have mercy. Please give me LeJohntay in the 7th. Yeah, this is, I mean, on paper, this is one of the best drafts Joe Schoen has had. I mean, it's equivalent to last year on paper. Have to see what they actually do, obviously, before we make any, cemented takes on it, on how good they are going to be or will be. But so far, this is an A+ draft for the Giants. They get the quarterback. They get Abdul freaking Carter. They get Darius Alexander. I mean, they get Cam Scataboo. They get freaking Marcus MBOW. They just got a starter in the 1st round, their future quarterback in the 1st round. You could, essentially the 2nd or in the 1st, but gave up a couple picks to get there. They got a starting defensive tackle in the 3rd. They got a starting running back in the 4th, and they got a starting right guard in the 5th. And Anthony, you want to know why this is different than last year? Because last year's draft class, they were starting no matter what. They were just drafting guys, and they had so many holes. They were going to be starting. These guys are actually good enough to start. You know what I mean? These guys are actually like on a good chunk of teams in the NFL. All these guys are capable of starting on day one. And that is pretty damn solid. Like, this is not like we're drafting and these guys are starting no matter what because we don't have anyone else there. We are drafting these guys, and these guys actually have the talent to start on day one for us, which is a very, very, very different feeling in terms of like actually drafting.
Outside of somebody texted me 2019, so that's why I said Daniel. Outside of Jackson Dart, he's not going to start day one, but everybody else I expect to make an impact from day one. Harrison Lopez with a super chat. Thanks so much, Harrison, saying not to be a bummer, but I feel like Joe always cooks in the draft and then our team is no good. We need to draft and develop. So I absolutely agree with you. That last sentence is crucial. Yes, the Giants just added some good talent. Doesn't mean anything if they don't develop it. They better develop this talent. It's super, super important. But I will say this. Last year, we felt like he cooked the draft. This year, we're feeling it. In 2023, I probably felt that way too. But 2022, I did not feel that way. So, not always. But, hey, man, it's really about development. Let's see what the New York Giants do this season, and let's see if they put these guys in the right position to succeed. But what I'll say is I feel like they have a plan this time, especially with Jackson Dart. They've got some quarterbacks in front of him. They're pairing him with a coach that likes his skill set. They have a plan here, which I think is fantastic. And I'm really looking forward to the development aspect of these draft picks. I think it's a really good class. A lot of promise.
Yep. And this morning I tweeted, I'd really be happy if the Giants got either Cam Scataboo or Marcus MBOW and they got both of them in the same day.
I'm telling you, bro. They
You just love to
they
see
pay a
it,
lot of
man.
attention to us. They pay a lot of attention.
I gotta say that's actually pretty funny. I was like, I'd be a really happy camper. I'd be a real happy camper if they got either of these two guys in the Giants draft them back to back. You love to see it. Oh, you love to see when the team is doing exactly what you think is the right thing. And we were all, and not to say just I was on it, because you guys also thought the same exact thing as I did. So
You want to
very
see something
exciting
cool
stuff.
too?
Very, very
You want to see
exciting
something
stuff.
really, really cool?
I do.
Hold up.
Weed and
Give me
boys.
1 second here. This is gonna be cool.
We making noise. Hold up.
Get ready for this.
Show me.
Hold on. I put it in the wrong spot. We're going to change the background. We got a new background. Danny is the GOAT, and he sent us a new background. Ready?
MBOW already?
Yeah. How fast was that? Now we got MBOW on here too.
Nice.
Danny, you're the best, man. You're the GOAT.
Danny's locked in. Danny's locked and loaded. Love to see it. The GOAT. The man behind the graphics.
Super chats raining in. So Neil Unrealist, thank you so much for the super chat. Also the guy who pointed out the fire alarm, and I'm going to have to go take care of that in a second. But Neil, thank you so much. Saying any chance they train him out at center if JMS underwhelms? Yeah, I think that's possible. He fell in this draft because his arms are short. And you know where that doesn't matter? At center. So maybe we see him play guard, play center, play tackle. Just find out where he fits best. All we know is that he's got great talent and a lot of physicality and good size. Now we figure out where he fits best on the offensive line. Just throw him in the training camp and let the best man win. Let them all compete. I think it's totally a possibility.
Absolutely. I mean, listen, the Giants, truth is like JMS has been pretty bad. You know, I don't think we can dance around that fact. Greg Van Roten should compete at center with him. That's how I kind of feel at this point. Like Greg Van Roten has experience there, and he's a veteran and probably equally as good, if not better, than JMS at this point. But like, we need JMS to take a step forward. He's undersized, but the guy's smart. You know what I mean? He's a technician. I really want him to pan out. I really want him to get better. I think they'll give him this year, and if it doesn't get better, I could see them making a change at midway point of the season if he doesn't exponentially improve. So we'll be keeping a close eye on that offensive line as the season gets closer, and as obviously the season progresses in terms of who should be playing and who shouldn't be.
Absolutely. But Alex, seriously, I am turned up right now because I really wanted Marcus MBOW on this New York Giants team. As I was showing earlier, I wrote articles about him in January being a good fit for the New York Giants, like I did with Jackson Dart as well. We've been on this draft, man. I'm proud of us, and I'm so excited. And I'm proud of Joe Shane right now because he's doing a great job, but he's killing this draft. I'm very excited. I think that Marcus MBOW is a player who actually could compete and make an impact for the New York Giants as early as his rookie season, as is our guy Cam Scataboo and MBOW. Boom. Now we got the MBOW one too. So now I got double threats, Alex. You're going to have to live with that for the rest of this live stream because I am excited. This is awesome. I can't wait.
Oh my goodness. I think you should be doing Scataboos as much as you possibly can, man. I just keep reminding me that Scataboo Bear is on this freaking team. Guy is absolutely a tank. And I'm so excited to watch him be a Giant, man. I really, not to freaking mention Abdul freaking Carter, the menace, the violent man, the violent Darth freaking Vader. I just can't even. Watching him is going to be a damn pleasure. Because this dude has some of the best reaction timing I've ever freaking seen. The way he gets up off the line of scrimmage is truly an elite trait. You know what I mean? Like, it is elite in every ounce of the word. This guy has potential that we haven't even seen. So, you know, with that being said, this defensive line, Anthony, championship caliber defensive line, in my opinion. On paper, so far, with Darius Alexander and Abdul Carter, this is a elite defensive line. And if you're John Mara and you wanna get a little bit of spark from your past, you're looking at this draft class right now. You're thinking about this defensive line. You're thinking about Strahan and OC and JPP and Tuck. You're thinking about all these guys that won you Super Bowls. And you're looking at this defensive line. You're saying this unit is just as good as those on paper. Need it to happen. Need to see it first. But from an upside and talent perspective, this defensive line could even be better. That's how good that's how much upside it has. If the Giants get the quarterback right, this is going to be a really fun next like 5 to 6 years, a nice window of performance for this franchise. And by God, Anthony, we deserve this as a fan base. You know, you guys, us, we deserve this as a fan base. And I am so excited to experience it with you guys. Oh my goodness, we've been waiting so long to have this type of energy, this type of fun, this type of feeling, to be able to enjoy week 1, week 2, week 3, week 13, week 14, playoffs. You know, imagine week 18, Eagles, Giants last, and we got to win and we beat their asses to get to the playoffs. It's going to be freaking awesome. Like, we got a chance now. We have a chance.
And the live reactions to those games are going to be so much fun. So I really hope that's what happens. I don't remember if I read off the super chat yet from NATO saying next we should get a receiver. First of all, NATO, thank you so much for the super chat. I definitely think receivers on the board here in the 7th round, but unfortunately we are waiting a while before the Giants pick again because they've got all of the 5th round picks left, and then the 5th round comp picks, then the 6th round, then the 6th round comp picks, and then the Giants aren't on the board until the 7th. So maybe they get a receiver there, but probably not a player that you expect to make much of an impact in the 7th round. So I could see them going receiver. We shall see. But Fireplace asks a question that kind of ties right into that. Thank you so much for the super chat, Fireplace, saying, do you guys think the Giants should package both their 7th round picks to move up for one player or stick and pick 2 more players? Been loving the streams. Well, we love having you in the streams. Thank you so much for being here. I wouldn't mind the Giants packaging these picks. And one of the reasons why, Alex, they're already over the cap in effective cap space because of how big their draft class is with all of the picks they have. So maybe you just go ahead and you lower that cap hit by trading up and getting one player. I don't know if it would offset or not. So I think there's an argument for that. And also, I don't know, depth is important, but the Giants seem to like the guys that they have on their special teams, and likely what they're getting in the 7th round is special teamers. I wouldn't mind them trying to trade up into the 6th and get a player that maybe has a little bit more upside. I wouldn't mind it at all.
Not at all. And appreciate you, Fireplace Gaming. You know, great super chat again, and great question, and great kind of idea there. Patching those 7th round picks, going up as far as possible. 7th round picks are just completely shots in the dark. You know, if you can get up a little bit further and maybe get some guy with upside, you know, someone like LeJohntay Wester. Anthony, I know you're listening to me, but you're not here to respond, so I'm going to keep talking about him. LeJohntay Wester is so freaking good, and he's a steal in the 7th round, and he's a slot receiver for Colorado. And I know Colorado players are kind of being abused in this draft class, but LeJohntay Wester is super good, and I think they should draft him in the 7th. Right, Anthony? Yeah, I know. He says I'm right. But you know, I do think that pairing those 7th round picks is definitely not a bad move. And if it's just to go to BPA, that's fine too. Just going to get the best possible player. You know, a lot of people saying Auburn linebacker Eugene Asante, lots of different players you can consider if you just move up. And like you said, You're
totally right. I would like LeJohntay Wester, and I was listening, and I think he would be a good pick in the 7th. I'm trying to find out where this beeping is coming from and get it solved, but I can't find the smoke detector that's making
it's
the
the
beeping.
Mole. It's the rat. It's the Giants rat.
It's the Giants rat. But no, yeah, I would like LeJohntay Wester in the 7th. I wouldn't be upset with that at all. But we do have a big super chat here from Egypt Steel 85. Egypt Steel, thank you so much for the super chat, saying, what a great draft. Shout out to you guys as well. We have suffered enough. And shout out to you, Egypt Steel, Fireside Giants OG. And shout out to everybody tuning in. We've got 900 people in the chat right now. Thank you so much to the 437 on X and the 463 on YouTube. Shout out to all of you. This is, again, as I've been saying for the last few days, these live streams are not for us. They're for you. They're for the community. This is what it's all about, is being able to sit down as friends on the internet and just talk New York Giants together. It's an absolute blessing. I love it. And so thank you to all of you guys, and shout out to all of you. And yes, we have definitely suffered enough. Hopefully, this is a pivotal draft that turns things around for the New York Giants, so we no longer suffer together, but instead celebrate together.
You can say that again. I want to celebrate wins, man. The draft is always our Super Bowl because of the situation we've been going through. But Egypt Steel, appreciate you as always. Definitely a freaking flyer on the channel. Been very, very supportive of us over the past few months. Has been kind of ramping up these live streams, but lots of positivity flowing through the chat right now, man. Lots of positivity flowing through me. Lots of positivity flowing through you, Anthony. Feel pretty good for the first time in a while. It's been a couple years since I felt like this.
I'm feeling really good because the Giants today, man, I mean, they landed SKATTEBO, and then they also landed MBOW. So I'm feeling really good.
Yeah, I'm feeling freaking good. SKATTEBO is going to be I've been talking up Scataboo for weeks. Not that I needed to, because he's such a fun player to watch in college football. But this is a guy that I specifically, if you guys have been following this channel, I have been so freaking desired for Scataboo. I wanted Scataboo on this team. I wanted him on this freaking offense. I wanted him running the freaking rock. He runs with a purpose. He runs with like he wants to freaking destroy you. And his center of gravity, his contact balance is straight up elite. Really, really, really excited to have some of these players, Anthony, that we have been locked in on for so freaking long. And guys that are good are just highlight reel players. You know what I mean? Like the Giants need more highlight reel players, guys that are going to drag you to the stadium because you can't just bear the fact to not watch them, right? Abdul Carter is a highlight player. Cam Scataboo is a highlight reel player. Just so much fun. Like they added guys who are going to make us happy. They added, and you know what? Marcus MBOW, buddy, go be our right guard. Go win that starting right guard job. It's yours to win. There's no one there that's that good. Greg Van Roten, Aaron Stinney, go win that damn job, man. Go steal that job. Be the right guard. Like hell yeah. So, you know me and Anthony. We love a good offensive line too. It's been a minute since we had one, and we saw glimpses of it last year. We know that Cam Brusillo can get us there. He just needs the guys to stay freaking healthy for once. So that's an imperative to the equation. But I'll tell you one thing: Josh Azidu's days may be numbered, my friend. He is sitting on fire right now, walking on coals, you could say.
So last year,
no doubt. So shout out to Nato. Thank you so much for this super chat saying, if we did trade up, who would we want? I still like Kobe Bryant, Kansas cornerback. And also the reason I was distracted is for the super chat that just came in from Sean. I turned on ESPN because Joe Shane is live on ESPN being interviewed by Adam Schefter. So that's what I was trying to pay attention to.
What was he saying?
He was talking about the process of trading up for Jackson Dart, how a lot of the teams that they called earlier in the day, once the draft began, decided that they didn't want to trade out anymore and they were trying to stick and pick. So it became a little scary, but they ended up getting a deal done with Houston. But thank you so much, Nato. Kobe Bryant, that's the name that I'm going to give you in terms of a trade up potentially.
Kobe Bryant, I do like that. You know what? I have to tweet something right now because I just keep seeing Marcus MBOW on my Twitter feed, and I just have to say something. And what I'm gonna read you exactly what I'm gonna tweet as well. I'm gonna say, landing Marcus MBOW in the 5th round is the type of move we would praise the Eagles for.
I like that take. Good take. Joe Shane said that Abdul Carter is a dog and moves at a different speed than everybody else.
He does do that. He is fast as hell, man. So good.
Blue Boogie, thank you so much for the super chat saying ESPN had long Shedeur film waiting until round 5, day 3. Yeah, they had a lot of film to play, and they played it. Believe me, they played plenty of it. But thank you for the super chat, and then thank you to Sean as well for the super chat saying Adam Schefter is interviewing Joe right now on ESPN. I got it pulled up, trying to listen in.
Oh man, yeah, Joe Shane, whatever. Just a good draft from him. You know, just credit where it's due. Just a good draft from him. I mean, on paper, again, need to see it, so have to see it. But and digital man, I know we don't want to talk about the Eagles. I know we hate them, but like we should learn a thing or two because they just won the Super Bowl, and I kind of want to win a Super Bowl. I don't know about you, but I think we should take their strategies and apply it. And sometimes that means taking players that drop further that they should have and drafting them. So not a bad strategy to steal from them, in my opinion.
No, I mean, it's great to steal from the best teams in the NFL. And I'll say, yes, this is like the kind of pick that we would praise the Eagles for. You're right about that. But it's also the kind of pick we praise the Lions for, the Ravens for, like all these teams that draft well. It's really just to say the New York Giants are drafting well. And we're really happy and excited about that. It reminds me of when Trey Smith dropped to the Chiefs. Remember that? It's what it feels like.
Yep. It does. That's exactly what I said before. It's exactly like that. You know, it's exactly like Trey Smith falling because he had like blood clots or whatever. And they were like, oh, like blood clots, blah, blah, blah. And everyone freaked out about it. He dropped to the 6th round. And then the Chiefs walk into an all-pro right guard. Yeah. It feels just like that. And there were medical concerns about Marcus MBOW. I think his knee, someone said, was the concern. Azeez Ojulari, remember that?
I'm looking, but I don't see anything that's wrong with him. Like I
don't know what it was.
Some explanation I can find.
I know. I mean, someone said knee problem, but I mean, does anyone remember Azeez Ojulari having a knee problem? You want to know what happened to him? Every injury he ever had was not his knee. So there's that. It was like his calf and his ankle and his shoulder and his oblique. And like, okay, but what happened to the knee? So, sometimes you just got a 5th round pick, take a chance on a guy who may have one red flag and, some injury red flag, and just rehab him up and make sure you give him the best treatment possible. And not that I trust the Giants treatment center very much, but I think you definitely just go after that. You just try to maximize the players on the board.
You plug him in, and if he's hurt or he doesn't play well, this is why you re-sign Greg Van Roten.
Exactly. Greg Van Roten is an excellent insurance policy. He protects you from the downside of that acquisition. But again, it's a 5th round freaking pick. Like, who cares? Like, most of those picks never end up becoming anything. Although the Giants have had pretty good luck. Yeah, and the Giants have actually taken some damn good chances. Tyrone Tracy, Micah McFadden, they've actually hit on a lot of 5th round picks recently in context of like what a hit actually means in the 5th round. So like Marcus MBOW would be just another one that could actually be another hit for this team. If he stays healthy, like this guy has the upside to be a starting right guard in the NFL. You know what I mean? He's a freak of nature athlete. I really don't think people understand. His frame is not there yet, so that's the problem. They're gonna have to have him eating sloppy joes in the freaking cafeteria all day long. But like, truth is like he needs to add some weight. It's just how it is. But yeah, he's got he's a bit undersized. So they need his frame isn't fully filled out yet to play guard. At tackle, it's okay because you could be a little bit more flexible, but he's, he could use a little bit more size.
Your suggestion is
and
sloppy joes for him. That's your official suggestion.
Carbs, protein. You have anything else?
303 pounds is what he weighed in at the combine.
It's a little light. It's a little light for an offensive guard, especially against
up to 320. He goes up to 320. He's gonna be a beast. But he's
imagine
like that's part of his
no, I know,
strength,
but like, imagine Marcus MBOW at 303 against Dexter Lawrence, which is be like Denny's, bro. Yeah, but fucking pancakes.
To be fair, I don't imagine anybody against Dexter Lawrence.
It's fair enough.
Ali Marpet is his pro comp on NFL.com. Wasn't he a center? No, he was a guard.
I think so.
Was he? I think he played some center.
I feel like he did play some.
He played guard and center in his career, but mainly guard.
I forgot we have Evan Neal still. Oh, dude, Evan Neal's so cooked. He's cooked.
Unbelievably cooked. Like he was left in the air fryer for a day. Somebody
dude is the crusty, burned black dust.
Yeah, somebody came home drunk, threw some pizza rolls in the air fryer, forgot about them because they fell asleep drunk, and then they woke up the next day and half the house was gone.
All there is burnt nachos in the air fryer, and half the house is gone.
And that's Evan Neal.
Yeah, chopped cheese. He is the chopped cheese now. No sloppy Joe, just chopped cheese. Chopped cheese. Both are fire.
NATO, so far, who do you think the biggest steal is for the Giants and MBOW? Hell of a selection. One of the steals of the draft. For the draft, I'm going to go as far as say this, Alex. It's Shedeur Sanders.
Yeah. Is the steal of the draft, you're saying?
Yeah. He should start for the Browns.
Yeah.
Pickett over Dylan Gabriel, over Joe Flacco. Shedeur Sanders should be the starter. I think that's the steal of the draft. No, he's not a top 10 talent. Probably not a first-round talent, but he's good. He's a day 2 pick, and they got him in the 5th round. That's one of the biggest steals of the draft, in my opinion, for quarterback room that doesn't have an established starter, doesn't have any talent, and has Kevin Stefanski coaching. I don't know, man. That's definitely a steal in my mind.
Yeah, I mean, 5th round for Shedeur is egregious. He should be playing. Like, he should be starting. It definitely is the steal just because of what happened to this guy. Yes. But for the Giants specifically, I think Darius Alexander was the steal of our draft. I think he has like Leonard Williams upside, like as a player. So
nice.
if he ever even sniffs that potential, he's going to be the steal of the draft just because he's a 3rd round pick. You know what I mean? I would love that. I think that pick, right? I had him mocked at one point to the Giants at 34. So getting him at 65, like, think about how I feel about that. I mean, you got him 30 picks later. Excellent value for that. I couldn't be happier with Darius Alexander selection. Like, the Giants killed this draft in terms of like the guys that we liked in this class. They got so many ballers, so many high upside players. And for a draft class that was kind of considered weak across the board, aside from a couple key positions like running back and defensive tackle, like they knocked it out of the park with this. Like the edge rusher class, this was not a great edge rusher class. The Giants walked away with the only one that was considered like actually elite. Like you got to be happy with that. Like you can't be upset about that. So I'm pretty excited at the moment. So
me too.
Yeah, really excited about this team.
It's a great draft so far. And I would say finish strong, but I think the Giants already have finished strong. 7th round picks or whatever. They finished strong by nailing that 5th round pick. So it's official. We can say it's a great draft class, especially Alex. It's a great draft class. And on paper, they reached for a quarterback technically, right? Like they took a 2nd round guy in the 1st round. But if he ends up becoming a franchise quarterback, this is the draft that turns the franchise around for the next decade. This is it. So I hope that's the case. I hope it happens. Sam with Super Chat. Thanks so much, Sam. Yeah, I'll let you go in a second. But just thanks so much, Sam. Player development has been a problem, but last year injuries were a bigger problem. We lost our best players, Dexter Lawrence, Andrew Thomas. Absolutely true. We really need these guys to stay healthy. But what I will say, the Giants did a really good job being diligent and adding depth this offseason. And that rotation on the defensive line is crucial, right? Like now you've got Carter, Thibodeau, Burns. That's a rotation. So instead of Brian Burns was playing nearly 90% of snaps in some games last season, Alex. Why? He's an edge rusher. Edge rushers aren't supposed to play 90% of snaps. Rotate. Giants didn't have any depth. Now they've got some depth. He can rotate. Thibodeau, him, Carter, rotations will help keep guys healthy. Now they've got some depth at defensive tackle too with Dexter Lawrence, now Darius Alexander, Roy Robertson Harris. It's a couple guys. They've been doing a good job adding depth, and I think that's going to help keep guys healthy. And yes, you're absolutely right. That is crucial. And once again, thanks so much for the super chat.
Yeah, I appreciate you, man. Really, really generous today. And like you said, man, I mean, that rotation of pass rushers is elite. But you can keep them all healthy. By the time the 4th quarter comes around, it's a close game. You need a big play. Abdul Carter, Kayvon, Brian Burns, they're all ready to go. They're not playing every single snap. They are fresh legs, ready to make an impact. By the time the 4th quarter comes around, you're usually gassed if you don't have anybody else to help you. So like, this is a big deal for the Giants defense. They're going to be so well rested when the big impact plays are needed, when the offensive tackles are tired, when it's a 2-minute drill and they're running down the field, you need a big play. That stamina it makes a difference. You know, if you're gassed, there's no way you're making that play most of the time. They're going to be fresh legged and ready to go. So I'm really, really excited about the depth of this team on the defensive side. Offense, I still think there's a couple missing pieces, but it's not a finished product just yet. I do think we need another big receiver at some point, not this year, but probably in 2026. I think we'll go after one of those guys. And that's the benefit, though, right, of having Jackson Dart now in 2026 as your guy. You can go into the 2026 NFL draft and say, we're just going to go get the best receiver on the board, or we're going to go BPA, or we're going to, you know what I mean? Like you can stack talent now. And Dexter Lawrence still has like 4 years left on his contract. Brian Burns has 4 years left on his contract. Andrew Thomas has 4 years left on his, like you have guys locked and loaded for the next 4+ years in their primes. If Jackson Dart pans out, you can just stack talent for the next 3-4 drafts and be in your window, and then replace these guys as they come by naturally going BPA. It really, everything comes down to Jackson Dart panning out, though, to be quite honest. Like if he pans out, this window is going to be an excellent freaking window for the Giants if he pans out. And by the way, if Shane Bowen blows chunks and the Giants end up firing him, that defensive coordinator position is going to be one of the most sought after jobs in football. So it'll be an attractive place for the Giants to actually go and get one of the best available defensive coordinators or best available assistants that's primed or ready for the job, or a veteran guy like the Eagles did last year. You know, and going out and winning. You know, there'll be a place where people want to go. And even if they end up firing Joe Shane and Brian Dable, the talent on this roster, they're gonna have the pick of the crop, most likely. They're gonna have a really good situation to get some of the best coaches and GMs in football. If that's what ends up happening, talent on the roster will help them get that right now.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I don't want to elevate the expectations too high for this team. They still have a lot of work to do. Dable needs to prove himself. I mean, he was a coach of the year in 2022, but where has that been since? Got to prove yourself. Joe Shane, yes, you added some talent. Not all the talent that you've added in the past has panned out. So obviously we need things to pan out this time. We got to see it on the field before we get too excited. But we've actually got some stability at quarterback is how I feel with Russell Wilson, Jameis Winston, and now a rookie in Jackson Dart. So that's why I'm so hopeful for this season and for this future. So I'm feeling really good. Giants making some big moves here. Yeah. And also important update. This is very important, Alex. This entire draft, the whole season, the offseason, today, we've been pronouncing Marcus Mbow's name wrong. It is Marcus Bow. The M is silent. It's pronounced Bow. So not only did we get Cam Scataboo, but we also got Marcus Bow.
Another name to add to your Tourette's collection.
Just bring them all in. My bag is deep. My bag is deep.
I guess so. You just never know where you're going to fire off a bow or a Scataboo.
Right, exactly.
Or an Abdul.
It's a deep bag of just bullshit, but it's a bag, and I'm pulling from it. So it's my Boo and Bow bag.
Oh my! Your Bilbo bag? Your Bilbo Baggins?
Bilbo Baggins. Nato with another super chat. Thanks so much. Saying after this draft, Joe Shane has some big balls. No Diddy. Yes, sir. Thank you for the super chat.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate that. That's a great comment.
Yeah, you don't even have to add the no Diddy because at this point we say so much. We say so many like off kilter things on this live stream. Sus, like no Diddy moments, like pause moments. We have a lot of them, so I think they're expected, and I think they're appreciated. This chat seems to love them. But dude, Alex,
naturally occurring.
You missed one on. I think it was yesterday's live stream. Might have been Thursday's. I don't know. It all kind of blends together. I think it was the Titans. This UCLA edge rusher got drafted. The chat was dying. We were all hysterical when this happened. They drafted this UCLA edge rusher, and on NFL Network, they showed his scouting report, and they were showing his top strengths, and it was like quick off the line of scrimmage, powerful, and then juicy. What the fuck?
Lance Zierlein at it again, man.
I'm like, what are we talking about? What kind of scouting report?
Dude, never, ever read Lance Zierlein profiles after a bottle of wine because you're going to be rolling on the floor. This dude uses the most erotic verbiage you've ever heard. Meaty hands, girthy waist, like just absolutely insane levels of sexual misconduct happening in his profiles. It's unbelievable. I'm like, what the hell is going on in this guy's head right now where he's got to say these things? You could just say strong hands. He's got to say meaty, girthy, widthy hands. I'm like, what the frick are you talking about, Lance Zierlein? And I think he does it to troll us personally because they're absolutely hilarious, and now I have to use them. Someone's got to stop Lance Zierlein, menace of the freaking draft profiles in NFL.com. Absolutely crazy. Someone asked how the baby is, by the way. You won't believe this. Today's her first freaking birthday. 1 year old. Baby's 1 year old. And I'm so glad she's sleeping because she should not be listening to Lance Zierlein draft profiles. Absolutely horrible place to start your first birthday. But I will say this. Last year, this time, I was in the hospital while the draft was happening. I was going back home to record and then going back to the hospital to be with child. Crazy situation, man. Now, 1 year later, she's still not sleeping. It freaking blows. But she's cute as hell. It was a good birthday for her. And the Giants having a good draft this week, it makes it even better. Just so many good things stockpiling right now. You just gotta love it, man. You gotta love it when the positives are compounding, right?
Absolutely. Life is good. Life is good. Happy to hear she had a good birthday, and happy birthday to her. That's very sweet. Very
Thanks. I'll tell her. She's not going to know anything what you say, but
I know.
I'll tell her
I'm saying
anyway.
it to you. But all right.
Thanks.
Just be a smart ass.
Thank
No
you.
reason, accept the compliment or whatever.
Of course not. I can never do that. Have I ever been able to do that without saying something annoying?
Alex, I've known you for 6 years. The answer is no. Never.
Yes. Yeah.
6 years. 6 years. You've never been able to accept a
It's never
compliment.
stopping too.
Oh, I know.
It's never going to stop, unfortunately. Eagles get Drew Kendall, Boston College. Of course, he's going to be an all-pro for some reason in the 6th round. Screw you.
You got to chill out. Let me turn ESPN off this garbage. Put NFL Network back on. They're drafting.
I just keep
so bad this year.
All I saw was Mel Kiper having an absolute seizure on the freaking thing, and I was like, I got it. There's a click turned off. Like Shedeur already got drafted, bro. Like, shut up already. Like, we get it. We know you're upset that you're number one overall quarterback dropped to the 5th round. Like, we know you're upset because your whole spiel is over. But no more Mel Kiper in this draft, in this podcast, good sir.
No more Mel Kiper.
Yeah, he's been mad annoying all weekend. You're right. Thank you. $2. I'm putting that in her college fund, baby. She's going to community college. 20 years.
Shout out NATO. Thanks so much for the super chat. It's awesome.
If you want to fund my baby's college,
I remember. I remember when that was happening. Last
New
year.
Sponsorship opportunity, Anthony. New sponsorship. If you want to fund my baby's community college in 20 years, please drop $2 in the chat right now.
All right. Let's have the sarcasm warning, please.
Yeah, obviously, it was being sarcastic. You guys don't have to drop $2, but a crispy $100 Benjamin would do very nice for her future. Anyway, 2 more draft picks in the 7th round. There's no shot of making it to the 7th round, dude. No shot. It is 10:30 p.m. where I am right now.
Wow, you're grinding.
And who's even gonna be there? It's only for the chat, man.
To the 7th either. I'm gonna be honest.
I mean, it's been 3.5 hours on the. Oh my god! I mean, you've been here for an hour longer than I have.
Yep, no breaks.
So what do we do now?
Good question. What's going on here?
Oh, damn. He actually is hooking me up for Mike Kyle's birthday. Joe, you're the GOAT, man. Absolutely.
NATO,
dude, I swear to God, I'm putting that right in the college fund. And I'm going to tell her one day when she's like 18 years old, I'm going to say, not a Shedeur paid for your college.
It's NATO. It's NATO. NATO.
I'm going to say NATO paid for your college tuition. How do you feel about that? What do you have to say to this? Feels like a Michael Scott moment when he promised that entire classroom of kids that he was going to pay for their college tuition one day, and then he took it back. He offered to buy.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember. NATO, you're an OG though. One of the loyal viewers for the longest time. NATO, you're the best, man. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much, man. It really means a lot, and it all goes back into the channel and making sure we can all keep doing this for you guys. So it does mean a lot to us at the end of the day. Much love for you guys and the whole Fireside Giants community. I actually think we have to make new stickers, Anthony, because we got a couple of new players on the docket that I think people would be interested in.
I need that Jackson Dart sticker tomorrow.
So NATO, you tell me, since you just dropped the 50 burger, what do you think? What kind of sticker do you want? You want a Cam Scataboo sticker? You want a Darius Alexander sticker? You want
one of each.
Abdul Carter sticker? Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying.
Gets one of each. I'm saying which players does he want us to make? Because we can't make all of them. Well, I guess Danny could. I guess he could make all of them. But which one do you want? You tell me. We'll send it to you. No problem. I feel like the Cam Scataboo sticker is kind of badass. I kind of want.
He wants Abdul, man. He wants Abdul Carter. Yeah,
Abdul.
We got one, dude.
We should do. You know what we should do?
Darth Vader.
Abdul Carter with a Darth Vader helmet on.
Yep. Yeah, book that. We'll get something cooked up for you, NATO. NATO, man, thank you so much, bro. I appreciate you. Sean said, if I didn't have surgery, getting an organ removed, I would drop more. Still scared to see the hospital bill for being in there a week. I literally almost died, but today I feel very alive. Sean, thanks so much for being here, man. Sending prayers your way, hoping that you make a speedy and thorough recovery. And now, knowing this, your viewership that you shared with us the entire weekend, because you've been here for nearly every minute of every live stream, just means even more to us. So can't thank you enough, Sean. Like, you're seriously one of the GOATs. Thank you so much, man. Really hope you start to feel better. And again, praying for a thorough recovery and hopefully a quick one as well.
Yeah, man. Seriously. Save your money. Pay that hospital, but that's way more important than my kid's college tuition. Like, she can go uneducated. That's totally fine. Like, if you need an organ, bro, like, for real, like, seriously, wishing the best, recovery and making sure you get plenty of rest. And hopefully the Giants are good this year and give you some positive vibes and help you get back on your feet to 100%. And hopefully that hospital bill not too bad. Hopefully it's not too bad. But sending you much love, and hopefully, things going well over the next couple days and couple weeks and months for you, my friend.
Absolutely. Golden Spatian with a super chat. Thanks so much, Golden Saint Joe, with back-to-back awesome drafts so far. Absolutely. But I will say this. Last year's draft we know was awesome because we saw it on the field and we know that they were good players. Still got to wait for this year's draft class, right? Like, I got to make sure that these players actually perform. Looks great on paper. Time to execute. That's all I'll say. But thanks so much for the super chat. And yeah, he killed this draft and I'm super excited.
Yeah, absolutely. Appreciate you, Golden Spatian. Like, definitely a good draft so far on paper. I know somebody said in the chat, somewhere, I think Jeffrey said, all 30 teams feel like they had a really good draft. Guys, we've gone through enough bad drafts to know when you have a good draft. I think that's all I have to say at this point. Like, we've seen enough bad to know that, like, all right, at least this feels good. We don't know if it will be good, but at least it feels good. So, that's kind of what I have to say at this point in terms of the players we walked away with.
True. And I'll say this. I think a lot of the times the teams that feel like they have really good drafts and that actually end up having really good drafts are the teams with quarterback stability. And a lot of times teams will have really good draft class and they don't have a quarterback and the whole draft class doesn't look good. Giants with Russell Wilson, I think, have some stability, and now they have some upside with Jackson Dart. So I feel good, man. I feel really good. Another super chat here. Canadian dollars, awesome. Dylan saying, flowers for Anthony. I feel like every Giants collective take he had was bang on. Love the content, guys. Let's go Big Blue. Giants are killing it. Dylan, thank you so much. I will accept these flowers humbly but excitedly because I think you're right, man. On that Giants collective show, Alex, I'm spitting some knowledge bombs over there. It's definitely a great extension of Fireside Giants, having the Giants collective where I can go back and forth, not just fighting with you about chicken cutlets and, of course, talking Giants with you, but getting those outside perspectives with the Entertainer, with Bad Dog and Adriana. They're all great football minds, and they know their New York Giants for sure. But it's great to get those outside perspectives and collaborate like that. And I feel like sometimes we do so much work here on Fireside Giants. It really pays off when I have these conversations over at Giants Collective because I feel like I got a rebuttal for everything. It's a lot of fun. So, yeah, I definitely dropped some good takes over there. If you guys don't tune into that, definitely check it out because I think it's a really good show.
Yeah, Anthony, it's kind of funny because I feel like you use Giants Collective to like formulate your takes, and then you come to Fireside Giants and you just absolutely fire them off at me, and I'm like, whoa! I'm like, holy shit!
No, so
I'm like, whoa! And where are all these well thought out takes coming from? Because I'm like half the time like doing it in real time as I'm like gathering information. Like, you have all these takes already like ready to fire. I'm like, hold this man back. He's freaking dropping gas in the freaking channel right now.
It's a little bit of both. Sometimes I'll formulate from there, but a lot of the times I'm actually coming up with a take on Fireside Giants. Like, this is actually my process. I come up with my takes through the articles that I write in the morning for Empire Sports Media. Shout out, go check out the written content. I formulate the takes there. I test the waters on them on Fireside Giants, and then the night streams that I do on Giants Collective is where I really refine them, and then I come back to them the next day if I really like them. So it's kind of, I do have a process. There's a method to my madness, but yeah, my takes, I spend a lot of time researching. I watch a lot of Rich Eisen show. I watch a lot of NFL Stock Exchange. I do a lot of research. So I love it. It's great. I love talking Giants, and I love scorching the earth with my takes sometimes, especially when I'm battling Alex about Shedeur Sanders or chicken cutlets.
The craziest thing is I won both those arguments.
Yeah, get out of here. No, you didn't. It's a great super chat here from Dr. Garrett saying, finally have hope. Enjoy your content, guys. Thank you so much, Dr. Garrett. Appreciate you. I see you over in the Giants Collective all the time as well. So know you've tuned in over there, and thank you for your support on both of these channels. And I'm super happy you enjoy the content. Again, this content is your content. Everybody here, we formulate our content around what you guys want to see. So really do appreciate all the support and viewership.
Yeah, and if you guys have any things you want us to do now that the draft will be over today, is there anything you want us to look at over the next couple of days? Maybe each individual player, maybe we could do reviews for them. We can do projections for them. We can do how we think the starting units will look, how they'll shake out, how I don't know. It could be anything. The financial aspect of these players and what it looks like next year. Like, there's UDFA tracker. That's a really good one. We can do that for you, Tyrell Smith. That's a good one to bring up. We'll do UDFAs, guys that may have some upside. It'll be fun. I think we can definitely look. Also, I do like looking at these later round picks. We all know Abdul Carter is really good. We all know what Jackson Dart does because we have already done multiple film reviews of him. But I do think that the 5th rounds and the 7th round picks, like those are the guys Bow, not MBOW, but Bow, and our 7th round picks. That'll be really fun. Bow. And the 2 7th round picks will be really fun, assuming that we take both of those players and don't trade up a bit. But I do think that we'll be able to get some really good information. A video about the biggest steal of the draft. Absolutely. That's a bang, bang video. We're absolutely going to rip that. Remaining holes, upgradable positions, maybe how the quarterback room could shake out. Could Jackson win the QB2 job over Jameis Winston? I don't think that's a crazy idea. If the Giants really liked what they saw from Dart in spring in training camp, I don't think it's crazy to think that he could win that job. I don't think it probably will happen, but you never know.
My take on it is, even if he looks like the best quarterback in camp, you still shield him from the NFL because that real competition is something different. I'm not putting him out there until
protect his confidence.
The earliest is like week 8. Yeah, the confidence and his body, just everything. Just you signed Russell Wilson for a reason. Let him play. That's how I feel.
When you feel ready to put Dart in there, yeah. Sorry.
Exactly. Just take your time with it. Before I get to this next super chat, though, I want to bring up this quote from Marcus Bow that I think you guys are going to absolutely love. You ready for this one, Alex? You ready?
Yeah.
Are you ready, Alex? You ready? Okay. This is a quote from Art Stapleton from Marcus Bow saying, "Putting people on the ground, winning reps, demoralizing people. That's always fun." End quote. I love it. Marcus Bow saying what he likes to do on the football field, demoralize people. Yes, demoralize them. Demoralize them.
Again, violence. Violence. I like violence.
We do
football's
endorse
a violent
healthy
sport.
Dosage of violence on this channel.
Yeah, football's a violent sport. It's modern day gladiators, bro. I don't want anyone pussyfooting around. Like, these guys better be burying bodies on the field. These guys better be slaughtering, violence on the football. That is what the Giants predicated their entire brand on during the winning years. Not this giving up on plays. None of this nonsense, all this BS. You got to be violent to be a good NFL player. I think Fred Warner walks around picking daisies. No, he's murdering people. Do you know what I mean? Like, you think Derrick Henry is picking daisies and sniffing flowers? No, dude, he's running people over. Great football players are violent individuals that play the game of football the right way and have good characters. You know what I mean? That is what it is. I want to see the Giants murder people in a very healthy and profound way. A very, very kind murdering way. Not an actual, but a very kind murdering way. That's kind of how I see it. So Bo, demoralizing individuals, violence. I approve of these things.
Alex, I got to say something because this just came to mind. I can't fucking wait for Giants preseason. Get to watch some Jackson Dart. Oh my God, I can't wait. I'm actually super excited.
That's all we're going to get to see of them.
When was the last time I was this excited for Giants preseason? I don't know, but I'm freaking excited. I think I'm going to go to a preseason game. They're cheap. I get to watch Jackson Dart play. That's the move. I'm definitely going to a preseason game.
Yeah, I mean, dude, last year we went into the preseason with Daniel Jones still as our starting quarterback.
I know.
The bad omen is over, dude. The bad omen is gone. I feel like if you've ever seen the movie Apocalypto, that's what it feels like. Like,
yeah.
He entered. Gone.
We entered last offseason with him as our starting quarterback into the preseason just to watch him throw pick 6 and another pick like 2 plays later against the Texans. It was an absolute atrocity.
I was like, nothing has changed. Nothing has changed.
Yep. And it foreshadowed what the city was going to look like. But now this preseason should be really exciting to watch. And you best believe I will be at one of those preseason games for sure. And then the other preseason games, watch party on the channel. Absolutely. Stay tuned.
Absolutely, guys. Go ahead.
Big super chat here from Scott Sherman. Thank you so much, Scott. Kudos to Iron Man Anthony. Where does our new offensive lineman fit? He fits in at guard. I think he's probably a little undersized in terms of length to play at tackle. He's a little bit undersized in terms of weight to play at guard, though. So I think he's going to need to develop a little bit. And of course, we talked about how important development is for the Giants and their draft picks. But we shall see what goes on here with Marcus Bow. I really like him, though. Think there's a lot of potential. And also, if I'm Iron Man and you're Superman, what's Alex? That's the big question. Since your profile picture is Superman. I can't wait for the Superman movie in July. I can't even begin to explain to you how excited I am for that movie. I'll digress off that. We'll talk about that another day.
Can I claim my own superhero?
You can try, but we'll see. The chat will ultimately decide your fate, but go ahead and make your suggestion.
I'm not sure.
All right.
Let me think about it.
Well, dude, you were Spider-Man on your Twitter
No,
header for a long time.
I would say, can I be? I do love Spider-Man. You know, love Spider-Man always since I was a kid. However, can I be? What's his name? I don't know why. I know who it is. Hawkeye. Can I be Hawkeye?
You can be Hawkeye. Hawkeye works.
Right? Because I snipe takes.
Sure. Yeah, that's cool. I like Hawkeye. Hawkeye's really cool. I like Hawkeye comics too. He's pretty funny in the comics. Big Hawkeye.
I'm kind of funny sometimes.
You've got some Hawkeye energy. A little bit.
All right.
Another super chat here from NATO. Thank you so much for the generosity today, NATO, and for another super chat. What we got to do to get our first quarterback in 6 years on the live stream or Abdul? I mean, I'm going to try my best. I have a couple of connections. I know some people from Ole Miss, so you best believe I'm going to be trying my absolute hardest to get Jackson Dart on this show. I'm going to try really hard, and I'll let you know what I can do. If it happens, we'll promote the hell out of it, and it'll be on the channel, and you guys will enjoy it. So I'm going to try my best, guys. Try my best.
Yeah. It's like, see, this is like, I'll tell you what, kind of like Venom when he actually decided to be a good guy at the end.
Venom is awesome.
In the last, by the way, the last movie
ever.
I loved Venom in the original Spider-Man. I hated the Venom movies. I love Tom Hardy too. I freaking love Tom Hardy. I hated the movies.
I don't hate them. They're not good movies, but they're fine, like popcorn movies. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not expecting good movies with those. The original Spider-Man movies by Sam Raimi. Exactly. Sam Raimi is a visionary director. Those were legitimately well-made movies. They have an art house feel to them. Fantastic. I love the Raimi movies and I love Tobey Maguire. But you're right. The Venom movies are very much just like background movies. They're not all that, but I enjoy them. I like Tom Hardy. Anything that he's in, I love to.
Peaky Blinders, bro. Cheap. Tom Hardy.
You ever seen the movie The Drop? The Drop you should check out with Tom Hardy and James Gandolfini. R.I.P. Tony Soprano, but that's a really good movie. You should check that out.
Okay.
And we have a new member in the chat, Frank Carr. Thank you so much for joining as a new channel member. Awesome stuff. We really do appreciate you. And we are going to be sending stickers out to the channel members very soon. So join in at the right time. But thank you so much. Your support for the channel means the world to us.
Absolutely. Yeah. Huge. Just thank you. Just thank you. Not much more to say. Just thank you, sir. Appreciate you.
And a huge shout out to Demon Alcohol. Awesome name for the super sticker. The sticker doesn't show up for me on StreamYard, so I got to go check out on youtube.com what the sticker looks like. Let me go look at that.
I've embodied Demon Alcohol this evening.
The sticker's actually pretty funny. It's like a little dog holding a trophy. I like it. It's cute. But Demon Alcohol, thank you so much. And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to go golfing later today, Alex. And I'm going to have some demon slices on my driver as always, and I'm going to wash it down with some Demon Alcohol. That's the plan.
We love that. Love that. Appreciate you, Demon Alcohol. Great name. Embody that spirit, Anthony. And appreciate you, my friend. I think I haven't seen you in the chat, so I think that may have been the first time you've ever commented, if I'm not mistaken. So hopefully to see you more often moving forward.
I think I've seen Demon before, but I don't know if I've seen a super sticker in a while on this channel. So Demon, thank you so much, man. It means a lot. Dr. Garrett with another super chat saying we've been pushed around for 12 years, need change. Absolutely, we do. But hey, I think change is on the horizon, and I think the best way to change a franchise is to nail a quarterback pick, and I'm really hoping that Jackson Dart is that pick.
Me too. If he is, the franchise just changed for the better. I can't even tell you. I can't even begin to describe how bright the future is going to be. If Jackson Dart pans out, what this is going to be like, it's going to be insane in terms of the amount of investment we can make in the offense and the defense and wherever. Just go BPA. You find yourself that type of talent, you're positioned to be really good for a long time. I really hope, and I appreciate you, Dr. Garrett, but that is absolutely going to be pretty exciting to see if that does come to fruition.
Super. My bad. Accidentally turned my camera off again. But bro, dude, guy says community got to work together to get Carter a dart on FSG. That would be fantastic. Please, guys, do everything you can. We would really appreciate that. That would be awesome. I don't hate this comparison. Alex says Reed Richards, not the worst one. Not the worst comparison.
Reed Richards. I don't even
know who Reed Richards is.
Oh,
Fantastic Four, Mr. Fantastic.
He's not. Yeah. I do like that. The original Fantastic Four actually was quite enjoyable a long time ago.
They're like really bad movies, but they're really good in a like you know what I'm saying? Like they're very enjoyable.
I was a
enjoyable
kid.
is a good word for it. Yeah, me too.
I was a kid and I was like, oh, I love this. I'm a kid. Yeah. That's
first superhero movie that I saw in theater. So like I just got nostalgia with it. Nato says you're Iron Man. I think if anybody's Iron Man,
I mean,
it's me.
dude,
Tony Stark. I went as Iron Man for Halloween a couple years ago.
Can you just be Cutlet Man?
Shut up.
You just shoot cutlets out of your hand or something.
You wish, bro.
Your superhero is a perfectly even cut.
Shooting and appearing, bro.
Dude,
Dr. Manhattan's cool hero too. Watchmen are cool.
Fair enough. There's a lot of great superheroes out there, dude. Lots of great ones.
I'm a big superhero guy. There's two things that I have outside of football, like Giants. My biggest hobby is obviously talking about the New York Giants. And then my biggest hobbies outside of that, movies. I watch a movie a day at least. I'm a big film buff. And I really like comic books and comic book movies. But I like good movies too. So. But yeah, I could talk movies and other things all day long. But instead, I talk Giants all day long. And I have no complaints over that.
It was a sad time for quite a while, but things are turning up for us now. Yes, Sean Nevins, you can be Deadpool in Fireside Community. They cannot kill you, even if they take your gallbladder.
Yes. What do you think about this one?
I think you're like the non-transform version.
Just Bruce Banner. I don't want to be Bruce.
You're just Bruce Banner before the transition.
Nader says I'm Doctor Strange. I'll take Doctor Strange. That's pretty funny. That's pretty good.
I like Doctor Strange. Benedict.
I used to have a goatee, so I looked a lot more like Tony Stark or Doctor Strange, but now I got the beard. So not a lot of bearded superheroes.
You're right. There is no bearded superheroes.
Daredevil rocks a beard in some of the comics, but I'm not Daredevil. Daredevil's annoying.
Oh God!
Don't want to see me angry, but wait for these game live streams. You'll see me angry during Giants games this year. That's for sure.
Nah, for real. I can't wait for the game live streams. Actually, they're going to be so much fun. Just because usually what we do on the game days is like we clip the games and then post the clips live. But I feel like it's just redundant. Like you guys are watching the game anyway, and if we're going to be watching it, we might as well just stream it and react to it in real time. And the thing is, like, if the Giants are good, it's going to be so much more fun. Honestly, I didn't even want to stream the last. Like, I think the reason we didn't stream the last couple of years is because there was no reason to. Like, we weren't excited to watch this team. There was no incentive, if you could say. But now I feel as though, this team has so much potential in terms of just being fun to watch and competitive. And that's enough for me. I'm down for some streams. I think we'll have a blast doing that. And you guys will be definitely rocking with us as well.
Yep. I'm super excited for the streams. And on top of what you're saying with the clipping the games and posting them on Twitter, we got a larger team. The team is expanding. So we got somebody to do that for us now while we do our thing over here on the channel. So more we add to the team, the more we get to do for you guys, which is what's super exciting. All right, Alex, I think we're going to have to start wrapping this thing up. There's no way I'm making it to round 7. Round 6 just started, and I'm burning out here. And I want to go smash a golf cart up against the wall and after I slice a drive into a house.
Okay. Okay. That sounds like a good time, I guess. Not much of a golf guy myself, but...
If the Giants turn it around, what will we do without the Anthony crash outs? Don't worry, I will still find a reason to crash out. I crash out perpetually. Every single day, there's a crash out coming your way from me. If I stub my toe, it's like World War in this house. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
What have the Giants done to you, dude?
Irreversible damage.
Yeah, right. I dead ass need they need to give me back years of my life. I feel like they've stolen from me.
Literally.
Brutal.
I loved the offensive line pick, and I really love the Scataboo pick. That's my last one. I promise, my last one. No more blowing out your eardrums.
You're scaring me.
All right, last
I
super chat.
I never expected.
Last super chat from NATO. Sexy Dexy nickname should be Galactus, the Eater of Worlds. Galactus is sick, man. I'm excited to see him in the new Fantastic Four movie. It's gonna be cool, and I'm super excited to see Sexy Dexy rub that sexiness all over opposing quarterbacks as he sacks them. It's gonna be awesome.
That was the pausiest freaking comment I've ever heard, bro. You've been streaming for too long.
There was actually a really bad
stream,
one earlier today. There was one earlier today that you didn't even hear. And I'm so happy you didn't because it was like bad.
That was pretty bad, dude. That was pretty bad. Rub his sexy all over while he sacks them. Verbatim. That's wild.
All right. Anyway, before we wrap up the stream, we did get a buzzer beater, big one from, you ready for this? From Juicy Nuts. Said, thanks for the streams. Thank you, Juicy Nuts, for the donation. Yeah, thanks so much.
Appreciate you, man. Very generous.
Streams have been
Much
fantastic.
love, my
Super
friend.
happy to be doing them. Yeah, it's great. Awesome.
Juicy. Jesus Louise, man.
And NATO with the buzzer beater. No Diddy, Ant. No Diddy, NATO. No Diddy.
No Diddy. No Diddy.
Oh goodness. What a stream.
Absurd.
We had we creeped up close to 1,000 people in here. At one point during the stream, we've still hanging around 800 the whole time. A lot of them coming from Twitter. Appreciate you guys. And it's pronounced use nuts. Use nuts.
Use nuts. Usey nuts.
Use nuts. I thought it was like juicy, but like
Juicy nuts.
Not like juicy nuts. That's
I
what
don't know.
was saying, but I don't want to say that anymore. Stop. Please, no more. All right, guys. Anyway, to recap, here's my final takeaways from today's stream. Scatterboo! The New York Giants have killed it. I'm absolutely thrilled with their draft class. My neighbors probably fucking hate me right now, and they can live with it. They can deal with it. It's the last stream of the draft season anyway. But, yeah, guys, thank you so much for all of the viewership and the support, the super chats, everything in between all throughout the draft season and definitely this weekend. Like I said, means the world to us. It's fantastic, the amount of viewership and the amount of support that we get from this channel and this community. It's all about the community. We're doing this for you guys to build this community, and it's grown so much recently. And again, I can't express enough gratitude and enough excitement because the community is growing right now, Alex. I feel like we're just getting started. I say it all the time. We have grown a lot, and we're doing some great things, and we're getting bigger day by day, and we're still only getting started. So I'm really excited, man. Stay tuned for more live streams. We'll have a draft recap tomorrow, of course, and we've got plenty of great content planned to react to the NFL draft over the coming days. But seriously, hit the like if you guys did enjoy. Thank you guys so much for all of the support on these live streams and all of the videos leading up to this draft, and we'll look forward to plenty more real soon. Alex, I'll hand it over to you for any last comments, but A+ draft for the New York Giants for me. Super thrilled and really hopeful for the future.
Absolutely. I mean, what a great draft. And shout out to Anthony for holding it down in my absence with the time difference here. Just couldn't get on these pods sometimes, but I made sure to get here today to support. And obviously we have so much fun doing this for you guys. And ultimately, like, it's not work for us. You know, this is what we do for a living, but it's not work for us. And like my grandpa said, you know, if you do what you love, you'll never work a day in your life. And that's how I feel every damn day, talking about the Giants and whatnot. And the truth is, Anthony, man, we've been saying this for years. When the Giants are good one day, it's going to be so much fun. When the Giants are winning football games, it's going to be like we just getting started. That's how it feels right now. The Giants hopefully can win football, hopefully can take a step forward, and it'll really allow us to build that community even further around you guys. And you're the foundation, right? Like, we've been drafting well for a long time with you guys, and now we just got to put it on the field. That's kind of how it feels. And, you know, I feel very grateful to have everyone in the chat with us and being a part of this community and, you know, just connecting in many different ways. So, you know, this is just step one. Hopefully we can enjoy a lot of positive moments together, big wins. I mean, beating Dallas, beating the Eagles, beating anybody, you know, those wins with you guys at the end of the day is going to be like the best moment of my week. So I'm pretty excited for the future here. And end of the day, we're just getting started, and you guys are just getting started too, because this page is about to get a lot more fun as we get into a lot more winning football, hopefully. But it's been a long time coming. We all deserve this, and much love to everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for the super chats to those who dropped. And if you didn't drop a super chat, we love you anyway. You guys just being here with us. There's a lot of content creators out there. We know that. And there's a lot of people vying for attention. But the fact you guys stuck around and listened to us, it means the world. So we're going to try to give back to you guys as much as we can over the next couple of weeks as we lead up to the season with stickers and all sorts of things and more live streams, just connecting, breaking things down. Any requests you guys have, happy to address them, happy to put it all out on the channel for you. Always going to be our priorities, making you guys happy with what we're putting out. So appreciate you guys as always, my friends. And Anthony, I'll let you kick us off and take us away.
Absolutely, 100%. All the points he said repeated by me. I absolutely cannot thank you guys enough. And I can't thank Alex enough for being an incredible co-host, mentor, and all these other things over the years, and especially during this draft season. So thank you guys so much for all of your viewership. Before I do get out of here, a couple more thank yous. Massive, massive thank you to our boy Danny for all of the great graphics, thumbnails, everything, social media posts. The absolute GOAT. We cannot thank Danny enough. How great this draft live stream weekend went. We have to thank Danny as well, because we can't do it without Danny. And also big shout out to our guy Dylan, runs Fireside Knicks and helped out a lot with social media posts for Fireside Giants this weekend as well. So big shout outs to those guys. Can't express the amount of gratitude and love that I have for them and for Alex and for all of you watching Fireside Giants. So thank you so much. Stay tuned to the channel. Plenty more content coming. Make sure you leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new. Ring the bell so you don't miss an episode or a live stream. Make sure if you listen on Apple or Spotify, you leave us a 5-star review, and go follow us on all our social media channels at Fireside Giants. Without further ado, we'll catch you on the next one. Have a good one, and let's go Giants. SKATTEBO!